Thanks, Spriggy. Welcome to Dockland Stadium as the Saturday slate rolls on in round 5. We've got the winless Crows coming to town to take on the Carlton Blues. The Blues undefeated 4-0, enjoying their best start to a season since their last premiership year in 1995. While for Adelaide, they're hoping to become just the second team in the last 50 years to start zipping 4 and turn it into a finals finish. They've got a bit of work to do. My name's Corbin Middlemass. Alongside me to call the footy is Ben Cameron. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon, Corby. Great to be here. The Crows have been nesting birds under Matthew Nicks. They haven't liked going on the road. You keep telling me as well that this is Carlton's best start to a season since 1995 when they last won the flag. So maybe the Blues are on track.
18's back for the Blues. They'll be happy about that. Sam Walsh in for his first game of the year and his 100th game, the top pick from the 2018 Super Draft. And Mark Pitternet is also going to play his first game of the year. Somewhat unexpectedly, he comes in for Adam Chera. So losing a bit of midfield depth. Chera out with a hamstring injury. And Lockie Fogarty, of course, was suspended last week. So we avoid the Fogarty versus Fogarty, with Darcy Fogarty taking his place in the Adelaide team. Meanwhile, no late change for the Crows. Sam Barry's their sub. And for Carlton, it'll be Jack Carroll to start as the technical sub. My name's Corbin Middlemass. Ben Cameron alongside me. Adam Ramanauskas is with us, the Essendon Premiership player. G'day, Rama.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. Roof closed, beautiful day outside, so it feels like we're at a night game. I always complain about that, but look, I want to see Adelaide's response today. I think we were there last Thursday night against the D's at the Adelaide Oval.
You were scathing.
Yeah,
you said that they were very selfish.
They were, and I want to see if they've changed that, because they were selfish towards each other last week, and it was really, really noticeable. You know, they could have been in that game last week against the D's, albeit there was just some selfish moments that I thought, you don't want to make your teammate look better, and I know that's being quite critical of them, but that's what was happening, and I needed to let the listeners know that. So Carlton on the other hand, albeit they've had an easy victory on Good Friday against North Melbourne, their other games have been close.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, well, is the form real? Is the form line real? And I think today, we all think Adelaide are a pretty good football team, albeit they haven't won a game to start the season. So I think it'll be a good test. Getting Sam Walsh back is huge. We want to see players like that in our game regularly. We don't want to see a young man have a back injury and miss multiple weeks. So really looking forward to seeing him today.
Paddy Cripps is on his way to the middle for the coin toss, and he'll meet Jordan Dawson in the middle of the ground. The Crows out there in their pre-season jumper from the late 90s. It's predominantly red on the back. They've got the big Crow emblem on the front, and the bottom part of it is red. The top part is yellow, and of course the Crow is in navy blue, and that is the colour in which Carlton are in today, decked out in their navy blue with the white CFC monogram. It's 27 years to the day since the infamous M&M's match when Carlton wore the light blue strip for the first time against Adelaide at Princess Park.
Yep.
You would have been playing at the time, Rama? Just coming in.
Just coming in, I reckon. Yep. I was. But you know what? I didn't mind that jumper. I actually thought it looked okay.
They got a cool $250,000.
Well worth it.
Which is good money. Good money by today's standards, let alone back in the day. $250,000.
It's like the time when Gary Hocking changed his name to Whiskers. He got paid a nice bit of money as well there for a period of time.
Might be one for you off the SMS today. 0437 774 774. Best oddity jumpers. Unusual jumpers.
I've got
Hawthorn Diamonds.
Oh, Rama, you're meant to keep it close to your chest.
No. Well, I just want to throw that out there. That's the clubhouse leader.
If you haven't seen that, one of the worst jumpers ever. Brown and yellow and brown with some blue diamonds.
Show me worse.
Lauren Borden is with us on the boundary as always. G'day, Loz.
Hello, Corb. No, it's great to be down here. I have to echo Rama. It is the perfect day to have the roof open.
Correct,
there's already a big crowd in here, but I feel like I was seeing a lot of people coming through the turnstiles late, like they were just enjoying the sunshine a little bit longer. But they've all come in now and taken their seats. Now, a good vibe from the Carlton fans, I'm feeling, given they're undefeated. We know they're really pumped up when that does happen. Like you mentioned, Adam Chera, the laid out with hamstring tightness, which means Jack Carroll's the sub for Carlton. Sam Berry just sitting down right now as the sub again for Adelaide for the second week in a row. So, I don't know, I'm feeling there might be something more in this game than just an easy Carlton win.
Hope you're right, Loz. Let's see what we get this afternoon. One game already done, short time ago. GWS by a point. Held off a fast finish in St Kilda outfit, so a 1-point win for the Giants. Milestones today for Sam Walsh, his 100th game, and Blake Acres playing his 150th. The stage is perfectly set Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. The undefeated Blues up against the winless Crows. Here we go, Saturday footy on round 5. You're with Ben Cameron.
Time for a game to break out. De Koning and O'Brien both with hands on it. The opening bounce, it falls at their feet. Poked away by O'Brien, onto it Newman. Releases Sard, running through the middle for the Blues. Long kick to full forward. Mackay down there, might have been held. Ball goes out the back. Free kick, holding free kick. It'll go the way of Butts.
And really interesting for the Crows in that first centre bounce was Saligo, Dawson and Isaac Rankin. So no Rory Laird, no Matt Crouch. So a bit of a change up there, which I quite like to see.
There has been a sameness about their midfield. Hinge in the back pocket, kicking up to the wing. On the wing, Williams marks for the Blues, back in possession.
Turning from that ACL tear this year, played all 5 games so far. Zach Williams, he goes short to Akers. To 150 games. He's 30th for the Blues, 45 for the Dockers and 75 with his first team in the Saints. He goes short to Owies, looks inside the forward 50. Mackay running out for it, no mark. Off his fingertips, Phil Suter to Koning, hand pass to Cripps. Inside the forward 50, hands it off to Ollie Hollands. High up and under in the same spot. De Koning trying to rip it down, dispossessed. Falls to Rankin, kicks out of the defensive arc for Adelaide, and Darcy Fogarty takes the mark, right half back for the Crows. No score after 70 seconds.
He kicks up to the wing in the Rochelle direction, takes the mark, wants to play on. He'll send it long inside 50, looking for Walker. He comes up and marks, 45 out, goes quickly, centering ball, misses the target. Out the back it bounces, quickly wrapped up, slipping the tackle in the end. Nankervis snaps towards full forward, and the mark is taken. Keys has it in the goal square, and the Crows should kick the first.
Oh, it's just through ball movement, really, there. So, win across half-back and beautiful kick by Fogarty to Rankin, and it's go from there.
Plum in front, 15 out, stabs it through. Perfect start for the Crows. He just gets it through, Ben Keys. They're 1 straight 6. Carlton yet to score. We've played 2 minutes. Opening term, Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanauskas.
Well, it's then the contest of Taylor Walker and Jacob Wiedering. Wiedering was looking for Walker's body because he was playing in front, but Walker was too smart. He continued to just shuffle side to side, and Wiedering couldn't find the body of Walker. Walker was in range, but for whatever reason wanted to pass that football, and then it was just a sort of a scrubby kick forward, and Keys just read it better than the 2 Carlton opponents inside the goal square. He nearly made a meal of it though, Ben Keys.
Oh.
Giants by a point in the earlier game over St Kilda in the nation's capital, so GWS by just 1. Sam Taylor, a heavy concussion in the opening stages of that game. He's been hospitalised but is conscious, and Steve Coniglio cleared of an ACL tear but has some knee problems after that injury in the last quarter. The Blues hook it out of the middle at the restart here. Cottrell, loose hand pass, missed Durden, does well to mop it up. Spin move, hand pass away to Akers. Kicks Carlton all the way to the behind line, and it'll sail through for a behind off the boot of Blake Akers. Adelaide 1 straight, Carlton 1 behind. 3 minutes in. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas and Lauren Borden.
Keane taking the kick in, up towards the wing, through the hands there of Cook, out the back. Kemp to mop up for the Blues on the wing. Handball to De Koning, handball to Walsh. Welcome back. Kick inside 50 for Carlton, towards Curnow. Worrell punches it away. Live footy half forward flank for the Blues. Mopped up quickly there by Newman. Gives it off towards Hewitt, who will hook a kick towards full forward. Mackay reaches in and plucks it out of the pack. He's marked it 25 out, directly in front.
Jordan Butts actually had good positioning there. It was Butts, yeah. But for whatever reason, he let Harry then sort of push him under the ball, and Harry reaches over and takes a really, really strong contested mark. The early matchup that I'm keeping an eye on is Paddy Cripps and Jordan Dawson. They're side by side at the moment. If that continues for the day, we'll see a great contest.
Directly in front. Boot the ball from 30 out. He's looking like a new man in 2024. Carlton take back the lead. They're 1-1-7. Adelaide 1 straight 6. 4 minutes played. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden between the benches. Our expert Adam Ramanauskas.
So I mentioned that Crows centre square to start the game of Rankin, Saligo and Dawson. Now Rankin has gone back to half forward. Rory Laird's come back up onto the ball. What are we, 4.5 minutes in? I would have liked to have seen Rankin just up there a little bit longer. Allow him to to run, allow him to get into the contest. So I don't think he's touched the ball yet, Rankin. He's had one touch, Rankin. So would have liked to have seen Rankin up there for another 3 or 4 minutes and then bring Rory Laird up.
Will Hamill, one of the inclusions this week for Adelaide. His first game since late 2022. Missed all of last year playing behind Hinge and Miller. But given the injury to the latter, he gets a start in the main side here. Back in the middle, Kennedy gets a hand pass away for the Blues. Put to Dawson. He's tackled by Cripps. Tumbles a kick out to the wing. Keys knocks it away. Ollie Hollands had it, lost it. Spills through towards Michael Annie. Bursts through the traffic. Hand pass out to Laird. He kicks down to half forward. O'Brien chops it off in front of Walker. And Walker was hitting up to take a straightforward mark, and the big clumsy ruckman spills it over the boundary line.
No, that's O'Brien's ball. So he can't see Tex coming and leading at that football. So, and you can see Tex didn't go back at Riley O'Brien there.
He should have taken the mark, though.
Yeah, should have taken the mark, absolutely.
Umpire brings it back in. Short throw in, palmed down neatly by O'Brien, but no one there for the Crows. Nankervis is supplying the tackle. Another ball up to come. 18 metres in the air, 18 in. Rammer, as you learnt last Saturday.
Yeah, sure did.
O'Brien winning the tap again. Onto it quickly, though. Kennedy for the Blues. Gives it back to Ollie Hollands. Kick partially smothered. Tumbles to the wing. O'Brien there. De Koning tackles him out. And a throw in on the wing in front of Lauren Borden.
Michael Voss, the Carlton coach, is just down here sitting with his laptop on a stand like he normally does. He's just pointing out some things to Sam Walsh, Zach Williams as well. It almost looks like they're at a little lecture theatre at university the way he's doing it down here.
Thanks, Loz. 6 minutes in. Carlton by a point from the boundary throw into Koning down to Cripps. Tumbles a kick forward. Elijah Hollands runs onto it. 70 metres out. Kicks deep to the top of the goal square. Mackay gets free. He's got it again. Big H with his mitts around it for the second time in as many minutes. And Harry Mackay, the Coleman medalist from 2021. He had an indifferent year last year. Some wayward kicking. He's worked on his game heavily over the summer. He's got his new routine.
What's he doing?
Places the Sharon on the ground. He gets up, takes a deep breath, hooks it through with the left peg, and he's got a couple. Carlton have two. Mackay's got both of them. 2-1-13. Adelaide 1 straight 6. Carlton by 7 points. 7 minutes in. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanaskas.
Well, it's the work of Paddy Cripps back at the stoppage there on Adelaide's half-forward flank. So he wins the ball, and it's a little cheeky sideways kick to Elijah Hollands. Hollands then puts it into a real dangerous spot. And that's the second one now with Harry Mackay and Jordan Butts, where Harry was just too strong again. It's a pure marking contest. And Butts is looking for Mackay's body. Like, clearly Harry can push him sideways down these two contests. I think Butts has got to stand off now, Benny, and then try to spoil the ball.
What did you think of the snap from directly
No,
in front?
I don't like that. That's directly in front. That's just a straight kick, straight drop punt. But look, the results there.
You haven't seen that from him as much this year. Bounce back in the middle, Pitnet into the ruck, misses it, bounces back to him, gets a handball away, knocked down by Dawson. Hacking it forward for Carlton Cripps. Out towards half forward, foot race on. Worrell trying to get involved. Maybe a free kick given away. It'll go to the Crows. Hinge will just pick it up and take the advantage. Kicks up towards Keys, drops the mark, gives it off to Rochelle. Handball goes back to Keys. Running down the wing. Dock side of the ground. He'll kick to half forward. Massive fly coming from behind. Kem unable to take the mark. Mopping up there quickly, Sard. And the Blues work it out. Kemp's kick is shocker. It'll dribble towards Wiedering. He'll shank his kick as well. Skill errors galore. Mopping it up quickly as Hinge. He'll kick into the pocket. And the mark taken for the Crows by Walker. He'll go to the goal square. And a fumble down there as well. McHenry dropping it, and the Blues can mop up across the last line.
Kick heads out towards Cottrell as Cottrell receives from Boyd and then chips it further afield to Owies. Almost threw it out in the end, tapped it back inboard. Charging through Hamill. He's tackled, dispossessed. Hewitt feeds a hand pass back to Owies off the back flank for the Blues. Kicks down the city wing. Good mark, Elijah Hollands. Reels it in one-handed in front of Dawson. Carlton 2-1. Both goals off the boot of Harry Mackay. Adelaide 1 straight. Kicks to a contest down at half forward. Almost got to Curnow. Rides a heavy bump from Jones. Jones wins the footy. Hand pass out to Saligo to Crouch and now to Hamill. Hamill goes across the half back line and O'Brien takes the mark for Adelaide. 9.5 minutes in, Carlton by 7.
I think Tex listened to my advice. He's being almost too selfish. He could have had a snap there we've seen so many times and kicked that goal, but he wanted to pass again.
Hinge wants to flare it out to halfback. Mark taken by Butts. And a couple kicked on him early. On Mackay. Sliding mark from Nankervis. Takes a fair old divot. out of the grass. Comes infield with his kick to Hamill, who stabs it back to Michael Lunny at centre-half back for the Crows. Sends it out towards the City side of the ground. Mark taken by Keane. He'll kick into the middle of the ground. Rochelle on the half volley. He goes back out to the wing.
Finds Crouch. Hand pass back to Rochelle. Kicks inside 50. Walker. Low down, takes the mark as he drops to his knees. He's got it 48 out.
He's looked sharp, Tex, to start this game. That's his third mark now inside forward 50. I mentioned he's passed the previous two. He's going to go back and he'll have this set shot just outside 50, which we know he's got the distance quite comfortably.
His goal accuracy is on track for his worst in his career in the young season, so 3 goals, 5. And he has a shot at goal accuracy of just 27%. Coming off an All-Australian year and 76 goals last year. They've been emblematic of Adelaide's slow start. Their spearhead up front. 55-metre drop punt is pure. Straight off the boot and straight through it goes. And he has whacked that through to give Adelaide a lift. 2 straight 12. The Crows trail Carlton 2-1-13. Baggers by a point. 11 minutes in on ABC Sport. Here's Adam Ramanauskas.
And you just look at the early numbers and what each team are trying to do here. Adelaide have had 15 marks in the first 11 minutes of this quarter. Carlton only 6. So Adelaide are trying to control tempo as much as they can. They want Carlton to actually, rather than guarding grass, which we see so often now, how teams have their defensive structures, but they want to draw Carlton's defenders out. And on a couple of occasions, like I said, that's Texas' third mark inside forward 50. So that is working at the moment. They're getting Carlton's defenders higher up and they're asking more of those Carlton defenders to play one-on-one.
Thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas back in the middle. Gallant and also Pitnet. Pitnet takes it out of the ruck, kicks quickly to half forward. No mark. The Crows arrive quickly, trying to get involved. Here's Michael Lunny. Now Walsh wrapped up quickly in the crouch tackle. Taken down at half forward. A ball up to come.
Marcus in South Melbourne off the SMS. I missed the 4-colour Fremantle jumper with the crooked anchor that they once wore. That's from
yes.
the late 90s, early 2000s.
Makes me think of Tony Modra, that jumper.
Singing more Brad Weir in the Derby with the aeroplane.
One team that I think needs to change their jumper is Gold Coast. That red jumper, that looks like a training jumper.
Yeah, no good. It's 27 years to the day since Carlton wore the M&M light blue jumper, so we're asking you on the SMS which sort of unusual jumper do you perhaps miss or enjoyed seeing? 0437 774 774. Kemp takes a nice intercept mark, a long kick down the line and just picking it off. In the book as a turnover off the boot of Ben Keys, who kicked Adelaide's first in the first of the game. So Kemp retreats. He goes back to Boyd, one of the success stories out of Footscray's VFL program. He's going to switch play himself, not by kicking it across the half-back line, but by running it. He takes 2 bounces and then goes back to Wiedering. Still in defensive arc. Everyone takes a breath after a hot start. 12.5 minutes in, Carlton by 1. As Wiedering hits up Kemp again, still at half-back. Chera are laid out with a hamstring injury, so Pitternet in the team for the Blues. The starting sub, Carroll for Carlton and Berry for Adelaide. As Williams goes on a run, goes short to Elijah Hollands, and he chips short to 18. Sam Walsh back in the Carlton team.
Oh, he fumbles it. Thought about handballing, decided against it eventually, gives it off to Williams. Kick to half forward, Cripps marks. Looks inside 50, the Carlton captain, a new dad. He'll drive it long to full forward in the Mackay direction, off hands, down to Kennedy. In amongst a nest of Crows, goes back to Akers. He'll give it off. Here's Newman giving it back to Kennedy. He'll backfeed a handball again. Akers once more on his left, snaps towards full forward. Up they go. Fantasia knocks it down. Worrell's there, handball to Butts. Crows in the back pocket, leg clear and kick.
High up and under. Walker trying to mark it. Wiedering puts his fist through it, finds the safety of the boundary line. And a throw in half forward for the Blues. Now, which end are the teams kicking to? Well, they've removed the nameplates, which Gillon McLaughlin said before he left that they would have them up. And it's left outstanding when he's walked out of the door. But the Blues are kicking to the Coventry end, which is to the right of where we're situated, above the benches, and that means Adelaide are off to the Lockett end. Here at Dockland Stadium, boundary thrown, we'll have another stoppage and a ball up. But they do need to get the nameplates back up. Little RFI.
O'Brien goes early, knocks it down straight towards Jones, who puts it on his boot, tumbles a kick up to the wing. Wiedering leads the race, gathers the footy. Little 1-2 with Boyd, retreating kick all the way to half-back. And McGovern can take it for the Blues. Comes infield, marked by Kemp, centre half-back here for Carlton.
Rachel in Ballarat, Paddy Cripps for the Brownlow. Hate the current Port Adelaide jumper, very bland.
I like the Port jumper.
They've had some very busy jumpers.
They've had
across their journey.
Yeah, Blues chipping it around across the half-back line. Wiedering sends it up to the wing, and Akers in his milestone match marks.
Well, the teal's an interesting colour.
Yeah, the all-teal one with the lightning through it.
Carlton lead by a point.
Long kick to half forward. Mackay the target, slips out the back of him. Here's next Michael Annie on the back flank. Comes wide for Adelaide. Good kick, finds Brodie Smith. Moves it on immediately. Swings a hand pass away to Laird. Lifts it over oncoming traffic to Jones. His hand pass chopped down. Boyd collects, rides the contact from McHenry. Lost the footy. Laird for Adelaide. Hand pass to Jones to Crouch. Sweeping hand pass to Rankin. He's out downhill. Takes a bounce. 70 out. Darts inboard. Gets around Walsh. Rankin kicks inside 50. It's over the head of Fogarty. It'll turn out okay. Williams can't collect. Fogarty. Hand pass to Keys. Goals. Unlocks a way through for Adelaide. And Ben Keys has a couple. The Crows are back in front. We've had a couple of lead changes in the opening term. And how about that for a bit of work from Isaac Rankin through the middle of Docklands. Adelaide by 5 points. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, he had chances, Isaac Rankin. And he sort of took that extra bounce and it got him into a little bit of trouble. Because he had 2 Crows forwards inside their forward 50 waiting for that pass over the top. But look, all's well ends well there. The ball went over Fogarty's head and the Carlton defender, I think it was Zach Williams, he just couldn't trap the ball and Fogarty was back onto the ball, little handball, and then Keys for his second goal. But that's what you want. I know I said Rankin should have kicked it earlier, but that's what you want from Rankin. Till you break the game open.
O'Brien and Pitnet. O'Brien able to slap it down. Pitnet follows up, wins it for the Blues. Handball to Walsh, been busy early. He goes back to Kemp, who stabs it into the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Hewitt. Nothing he likes immediately for the Blues. He'll go laterally out towards the wing. Wiedering, backward of the logo, runs through it. Low ball inside 50, poor kick, turnover. Laird dropping into the hole, defensive mark for the Crows. They lead by 5 points, 17 played opening term.
Settled well Adelaide as Laird goes short to Fogarty. On the back flank for Adelaide, hand pass away to Laird. Big sweeping polyfarmer hand pass. Up over halfway to Braden Cook against the boundary line. He goes long, trying to find Rankin with Sard. Rankin up. So good overhead, had enough of it. And he'll be given the footy here right half forward, about 48 out up against the boundary line.
Not sure what he's doing. I thought he might have gone quick here. He's tucked right up on the boundary. He's going to be kicking where the 50 and the boundary line intercept each other. So really tough kick. This ball's going to go from right to left really quickly, albeit there's no wind here. For whatever reason in that pocket, the ball always, like the amount of goals that end up left from here is ridiculous.
Carlton cheer squad waving their banners behind the goals as Isaac Rankin, right foot drop punt, right peg against the fence. He's missed everything.
On the full.
Right, he was always missing right after you said they always go left from that pocket.
He was out on the full, that doesn't count.
Adelaide by 5 points, no change to that score. 18 minutes in, Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Rabanaskas and Lauren Borden on the boundary. 5 point lead for the Crows, 3 straight to 2-1.
Newman in the back pocket, one of the best clubmen, 3 of the last 4 years for the Blues. Kick up to the wing, off the hands of the pack, down in front. Fantasia gives it off to Walsh, to Kennedy. He'll kick towards the wing. Mark taken there by Nankervis. Crows back in possession. Gives it off to the run of Hinge, who moves it on forward to McHenry. Stubs his toe on the kick. Dribbles it to half forward. Walker worried out of it, and the Blues are there. Akers picks it up.
Goes by hand, back to Wiedering. Chucked it on the boot, turned out okay, and Durden takes the mark. That wasn't his intended target.
Pure luck.
He's got the shoulders strapped, young Corey Durden, as he kicks down the wing. Jim McLeod bangs bodies with Nankervis. Ball spits back inside. Kennedy had it, lost it in the tackle. Hewitt, hand pass to Walsh. Spins out of the tackle from McHenry, but coughs it up. Butts for Adelaide. Hand pass to Laird. Kicks inside 50. Walker, backpedaling, takes the mark. Well, left half forward, surely he played on. He moved around to his right. The ump's going to let him go back and take his kick.
Yeah, and all the Crows players are going to Luke Nankervis. That was terrific courage. Harry Mackay's a big unit, 200 centimetres, 105 kilo. Went back. Harry collected him. Like, fair contest. But Nankervis just bounced back up, and that's the reason. Like, Harry would have taken that mark otherwise, and that's the reason why Taylor Walker's having this shot at goal.
So Taylor Walker, 10 in from the boundary line, right-footed drop punt. He's got his kicking boots on today. And the Crows are ready to work. Walker with a couple, Keys with a couple, Adelaide 4 straight, Carlton at 2-1, and Mackay's got both of theirs. So we've got 3 multiple goal kickers in the game. 20 minutes in, 4 straight to 2-1. Adelaide by 11 points. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, it's probably more the efficiency, I think, now of Adelaide going forward. Carlton have got to readjust their defenders. Their defenders are too high up the ground at the moment. So that's Texas' 4th mark inside forward 50 in this quarter. So Wiedering's his direct opponent. Wiedering's getting way too far ahead. And Taylor Walker is a smart player, but Wiedering's got to readjust now his starting position. I think Taylor's not going to beat Wiedering with pace, so I think he's better off standing side by side with Walker.
Full time in Canberra, GWS by a point, a knee concern for Steve Cornelio, and concussion, a heavy landing earlier for Sam Taylor, but the Giants beat the Saints by 1.
Crows with the last 3 goals of the game here. Laird with the clearance. Long kick inside 50. Wiedering leads up to Mark defensively. Gives off the handball to Sard. Handball out in front of Boyd. Has to wait for it to sit. Gathers just backward of the wing. Spearing ball. Good kick. Right onto the chest of Elijah Hollins. He'll kick the Blues into the middle. Kennedy marks. He'll look long inside 50. In the Curnow direction. Hands to it. Doesn't mark. Cripps gathers it. Handball away. Oh, he's taken the ground in the tackle. Loses the footy. Worrell's back there for the Crows. Out of play it goes. Throwing to come. Deep in the left forward pocket. Crows lead it by 11, 21 minutes played in the first.
G'day fellas, Grant here in Hobart enjoying the call. I loved the light blue Carlton jumper, much better than the white one that they wore. The Camporelli twins will look great wearing it.
Well, the Camporelli just came from the AFL Academy game the Camporelli twins were playing.
Ooh, more on that in a moment from Adam Ramanauskas as O'Brien grabs it out of the ruck, tackled, back form to his feet. Says I'll have it.
Yeah, Coburg actually won. They played against Coburg. Coburg actually won the game, but yeah, the Camporelli, the boys look really sharp.
Father-son eligible?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Scotty played 200-plus games here.
For Essendon? Yep. From the ball up, comes down towards Pitternet, jams it on the boot. Mark Pitternet thinks he's got it there. Diving effort on the line, and he doesn't look too sure. Mark Keane trying to save that. Pitternet in his first game of the year grabbed it out of the ruck, tumbled it goalward. I think the goal umpire likes this. Soft calls a goal. We're going up to the arc to make sure it's okay, and Mark Keane didn't bounce up thinking he touched it. So I think this is a goal for Pitternet. It is.
Yep.
The big man, Mark Pitternet, late inclusion, his first game since last year's prelim. And edges Carlton back within single digits. Adelaide 4 straight 24. Carlton moved to 3-1-19. 23 minutes gone in the opening term. I've called it. The Arc still looking at it, but this will be a goal to Mark Pitternet.
So they're looking at Will Hamill also touch it. Clearly misses his hand. I don't think Chase Jones touches it.
Oh. Nothing wrong with that. Certainly not enough evidence to overturn the soft ball, which is a goal.
Hey.
There we go. It's a goal for Mark Pitternet. It's just the 6th goal that he's kicked in 60 games at AFL level. So I think it's fair to say at this moment he's not a noted goal kicker, but he's got one. 3-1-19 Carlton, Adelaide a 4 straight 24. Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
Well, it's really interesting, Corbs. I want to see Ruckman do that more. You know, grab the ball out of the ruck inside forward 50. Like Tom Hawkins is brilliant at that at the moment for Geelong. But if you've got a big Ruckman down there in Pitnet, you should win that contest. Go and try and grab the ball out of the ruck and kick a goal.
Especially now that you don't get penalised.
That's right, for holding the ball.
Tackled.
Correct, yeah.
Take it out the ruck, yeah.
Take it out, or at least take it out the ruck and then just give a quick little handball to a midfielder. So, look, those goals, they're bonus goals. When you get goals out of your ruckman, they're simple bonus goals.
Back in the middle, Pitnet standing nearly alongside Riley O'Brien. Ends a run of 3 unanswered goals from the Adelaide Crows. Umpire brings it down in the middle. Up it goes. Both rucks. It's away from them. They both holding free kick. O'Brien might have been holding on. The Blues want the advantage. It'll come back. In fact, it was so crooked, we'll do it again.
Off the SMS, hi Corby, Geelong wore a lace-up jumper at some stage. I thought it was pretty cool. Andy from Wodonga. Well, they all wore lace-up jumpers once upon a time, and I think Geelong sort of had their lace-up printed on the New Age jumper as a throwback.
Umpire puts it aloft. Pitnet wins it down. Rochelle wins it for the Crows. He'll kick laterally out towards Nankervis. Has it just backward of the logo for the Crows. Chips it short to McHenry.
I think a few digits got bent in the old lace-up jumpers, and that's why they, Ben, as you would say, went the way of the Dodo or the Toucan or whichever one you wrote off.
McHenry kicks up towards half forward. Gollant leading out, but punched away from him by Boyd, and a throw in to come. Killed off a species, didn't
He
I?
did.
Called by accident, but
It's the dodo that's no longer with us.
yeah, the Crows leading by 5 points, 25 minutes into the first term.
Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Here's O'Brien, grabs it out of the ruck, runs straight at Cripps, and Cripps locks him up. O'Brien got a hand pass away, back out of bounds. The Dockers stealth jumper is a winner, a strong look.
Absolutely.
Kevin from Shenton Park, I'd like to see more of it.
And that Giants jumper as well.
The charcoal one.
Charcoal just with the G on the front. I love that one.
Boundary throw in. O'Brien from the back, swats it down. Here's Saligo coming off a career best effort last week. Kicks inside 50, Fogarty the target. Great defence. Brodie Kemp, outstretched with the left hand, just punches it out of bounds, throwing half forward for the Crows.
Banged his head on the ground too. Terrific closing speed by Brodie Kemp.
It was an emergency in the prelim final last year, but has locked himself in 2024. The Koning winning the tap, following up. It spits out towards Williams. His kick from half-back for the Blues up to the wing. Looking for Mackay. He can't mark it out the back. Hinge there for the Crows. Turns onto his left. Stabs it short. And Curvis can mark. Inside the interchange gates. Comes infield. Butts takes it. Runs away from Cripps. Misses the handball, but it all works out for the Crows. Laird in possession, receiving it from Saligo. Gets it back to Saligo, but not before he's pinged holding the ball. Saad able to claim him, and he'll have the free kick at half-back for the Blues. They lead, or trail rather, by 5 points to the Crows, 26 minutes into the first.
A couple of goals for Mackay, 2 for Walker, 2 for Ben Keys. In this opening quarter here, so the key forwards involved as Williams goes short. Sammy Walsh, first game back from back surgery late last year. The player of the finals, the Gary Ayres medalist. He kicks to centre half forward. Walsh leaping up. Mackay had a fair piece of it. The ump says he had enough. Free kick, or in fact a mark paid for Big H. Harry Mackay, centre half forward for the Blues. He kicks it deep in front of the behind post. Curnow to target. Keane goes to spoil. Jones sees it out of bounds, and he's helped there by Owie. So boundary throw in left forward pocket for Carlton. Now full time in Canberra. GWS by a point over St Kilda. Saints finished strong, but GWS held on. Sam Taylor unfortunately concussed in the opening quarter, and Steve Cornelio suffering a knee injury.
Forward 50 stoppage here for the Blues. O'Brien takes it out of the ruck. De Koning pinches it from him, runs into a tackle, loses it. Hinge knocks it out, straight to Saligo, to Laird. Handball too hot, dropping it, Curvis. Mackay picks it up for the Blues, gives it off to Cottrell. Tackled high, free kick. And he'll have the set shot, 30 out, slight angle to the right.
Oh.
What do you see, Adam Ramanaskas?
Yeah, just looking at, I need another angle of this because the tackle looked fine to me, but
It is a Cottrell set shot inside 50, so it'll be appropriate there be some kind of dispute about whether it's all okay.
He was ice cold last week. Thought he might be in strife with his AFL career last year. He was making CVs, looking for jobs, but received a contract extension. 40 metres out. Cottrell again is ice cold. Slots it for the Blues and returns them to the lead. 4-1-25, plays 4 straight 24. A Saturday Arvo shootout here on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanaskas.
Well, it doesn't matter. It wasn't a free kick, but Cottrell's good enough then to go back and kick the goal. It's just that one where the player leads with his head, and it was Cottrell that actually forced the contact with Saligo. So the umpires are going to be aware of that, I think. Who is actually initiating the contact in this contest?
And we don't want players leading with their heads, because that's what leads to injuries. Well, we saw that last night with Goldstein.
My under-14 boys that I coach at Strathmore, I'm teaching them, if they go for a ground ball, to turn their body straight away, so all the impact is at the hip or the backside.
Adam Ramanaskas on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron calling the footy. Lauren Borden standing by on the boundary. Back in the middle, Saligo, first possession. Hand pass meant for Dawson. Slips through his hands to his teammate in Crouch. Handball out wide to Nan Curvis as a free kick for a push after Crouch got rid of the footy, so he'll get it again here. Defensive side of the logo, broadcast wing. Kicks to Rochelle. Rides some contact from De Koning on the way through. Another free kick, but Adelaide in a slow play here on the wing. Final 2 minutes before quarter time. Short kick from Rochelle. Just got the Crouch. His third disposal in the chain. Possession 5 so far. Crouch kicks to the top of the goal square. De Koning's back there to play a role. Couldn't come down with it. McHenry trying to grab it off the deck. Pack forms around him. He wrestles Cripps forward. Cripps wins it from him. Hand pass away to Sard. He gives it to McGovern. Last line of defence. Long kick out to half-back. Mackay the target. Competes. Can't come down with the footy. Hamill for the Crows. Hand pass to Crouch to Butts, and now gives it off by hand to Smith.
Smith will kick inside 50. Standing tall to Koning. Hands to it. Free kick. Chopping the arms. And to Koning to get the free kick. You can see an AFL video on Instagram during the week. I asked the players who their favourite players were from other clubs, and Sam de Koning said, I'll have to say my brother, but Tom de Koning said Hunter Clark. And they explained to him that, look, your brother didn't say you. He said, that's all right, I'm used to it. The Blues just chipping it around. De Koning off to Boyd, who moves it on to Williams. Got a little shove as well for his efforts. On the half-back flank, the Blues leading by a point. This opening term has run 30 minutes. Williams kicking forward of the wing, up in the Curnow direction. Mackay crushes the pack as well. It comes down to him. Paid the mark, gives it off to Curnow. Looks into the pocket, shanks his kick. Tumbles out at the elbow of 50 in the boundary line, trying to come.
And that was Curnow's first kick. So I looked at that. I looked at the matchup of Curnow and Mark Keane at the start of the game. I thought, oh. But Mark Keane's done a terrific job in this opening quarter.
Harry Mackay's got a couple of goals though for the Blues, and Taylor Walker with 2 up front for Adelaide. Boundary throw in to Koning over the back, wins the hit out ball, pinballs around and close. To Koning gets a second play at it. Jams it on the boot. Here's Curnow leaping up and takes the mark. Right on cue. We were looking for him to get involved in this opening term, and he imposes himself here.
And sometimes that's all it takes to get your hands on the football once, and then you feel like you're in the game. Albeit it was a terrible kick by Curnow, but it just hand on leather sometimes. It just gives you a confidence, that little injection of confidence, and then he takes a towering mark there.
Just leaping up in the air, hugs it to his chest, showing all of his athleticism. Charlie Curnow, the 2-time reigning Coleman medalist, and that is why he kicks them like that, Curnow. 2 kicks, 1 goal, a good strike rate for Charlie, and Carlton at quarter time are in front for just the second time in the young season. The Blues 5-1-31, Adelaide 4 straight 24. It is Carlton by 7 points at quarter time Saturday afternoon footy. The goal kickers, 1 each for Cottrell, Pitternet and Curnow, while Harry Mackay has 2, and for Adelaide 2 for Keys and Walker. They are their only goal kickers in that opening term. Adelaide led by 11 points at one stage before Carlton rattled off the last 3 goals in that opening period. Carlton 5-1-31, Adelaide 4 straight 24. A 7-point lead for the Blues at quarter time. More of your thoughts on 0437 774 774 in just a moment. We're asking you about unusual jumpers from the past which stick in your memory. It is 27 years to the day since Carlton wore their light blue M&M jumper against the same opponents, Adelaide, just down the road at Princes Park. They're playing the same opponent this afternoon. Earlier today, the Giants beat St Kilda by 1. Sam Taylor, unfortunately, a heavy concussion in the opening term, and Steve Coniglio suffered a knee injury in the final quarter. Quarter time here at Docklands, Carlton by 7. The thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas in just a moment. This is Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
If healthy living is your thing, the ABC Listen app has all the podcasts. Try the Health Report.
These are ultra-processed products, and if you compare the calories...
You might also like What's That Rash? You're talking about zits.
Teenagers love to go...
Or Life Matters.
Love online after 50. It took me 18 months to download my first dating app.
Get your health kicks anywhere, anytime with the ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Quickly wrapped up, slipping the tackle in the end. Nankervis snaps towards full forward, and the mark is taken. Keys has it in the goal square, and the Crows should kick the first. Plum in front, 15 out, stabs it through. Perfect start for the Crows. Hewitt, who will book a kick towards full forward. Mackay reaches in and plucks it out of the pack. He's marked at 25 out directly in front. Moved the ball from 30 out. He's looking like a new man in 2024.
Kick forward, Elijah Hollins runs onto it. 70 metres out. Kicks deep to the top of the goal square. Mackay gets free. He's got it again. Big H with his mitts around it for the second time in as many minutes. Hooks it through with the left peg, and he's got a couple. He's out downhill, takes it down 70 out, darts inboard, gets around Walsh. Rankin kicks inside 50. It's over the head of Fogarty. It'll turn out okay. Williams can't collect. Fogarty, hand pass to Keys. Goals. Unlocks a way through for Adelaide. And Ben Keys has a couple. Bucks for Adelaide. Hand pass to Laird. Kicks inside 50. Walker backpedaling, takes the mark. So Taylor Walker, 10 in from the boundary line. Right-footed drop punt. He's got his kicking boots on today.
Mackay picks it up for the Blues. Gives it off to Cottrell. Tackled high, free kick. 40 metres out. Cottrell again is ice cold. Slots it for the Blues and returns them to the lead.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio
ABC Sport Digital.
and on the ABC Listen app.
Oh, we got some good gear coming in on the SMS 0437 774 774. Carlton by 7 points over Adelaide at quarter time. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden on the boundary, and Premiership player Adam Ramanaskas. The Pure Milk Light St Kilda jumper that they wore. You remember the yellow one?
Yep.
It was like the hot cross bun jumper with the big cross in the middle and had yellow instead of red outside it. That's from Andrew in Wangaratta. Thanks, Andrew. Matt in Perth. Whenever I go to an Eagles game, I wear my early 2000s Ochre jumper. The orange blue had the big bird across it.
Yeah.
The West Coast Eagles one. Once I thought I saw someone else wearing it, but then realised it was just a window. Mick in Bendigo, Twilight Footy here at White Hills on a fantastic evening, enjoying your call. Thanks, Mick. Nice to hear from you. Stan in Bunbury says the old Fitzroy jumper was the best. They've done their best to try and revise that. As the latter year was one, the red, yellow and blue one that they wear a similar version of that. The Brisbane Lions nowadays. Michael says, I don't mind the Hawks yellow V or yoke jumper that they have rarely worn. It's like a VFL or old local footy jumper. And this is perhaps the best update we could hope for from our mate Greg in Kyabram. Fellas, you'll be pleased to know that Brett Delidio was successful in his return to football today with Tom Gala. They had a win by 40 points and Lids kicked a goal. So Brett Delidio back on the park after his...
Wouldn't mind an update on his calves as well, just to see if he got through or not, Lids.
After his retirement in 2019, he was back out there today for Tongala and they had a victory. Carlton by 7 points here at quarter time over Adelaide. The thoughts of Adam Ramanaskas on ABC.
Look, it was an even first quarter. You look at the raw stats of it, and most categories are fairly even. But the difference right now in the game, Adelaide are trying to draw Carlton's defenders out, and that allowed Tex Walker 4 marks inside forward 50. So it's how Carlton probably reset their back six now to go, okay, we're getting too high up the ground. Adelaide are running the ball. As we mentioned Rankin in that quarter getting up higher in the ground and then going, then bursting back towards goal. Carlton, on the other hand, well, 3 of their goals in that quarter were through contested marks. Two to Harry Mackay, then that last one to Charlie Curnover. So what Adelaide are doing, they're dropping as many numbers as they possibly can back to try clog up Adelaide's defence. So ball movement becomes really important for Carlton in the second quarter.
I've got some numbers for you on that too. The thoughts of Adam Ramanaskas there at quarter time. Carlton by 7 points. Second term underway. The Rucks lock up in the middle. They both miss it. Soligo just paddles it out off the deck to the advantage of Crouch. Adelaide with possession. Hands it to Rankin. Kicks to half forward. Rochelle crashes into Newman. It takes the mark about 60 metres out at half forward. Oh, there's going to be 50 here. I think Newman shifted off the mark after the umpire had called stand. He didn't tell him he could go, and now Rochelle's going to be marched to within spitting distance of the goal line.
Yeah. These type of 50-metre penalties, it's a big price to pay.
It's an absolute gift, and Rochelle receives that, pops it through, and then takes flight as he flaps his arms almost like a crow as Rochelle celebrates the goal for Adelaide. They're 5 straight 30, Carlton 5-1-31. I'm all for celebrations, Ben Cameron, but I'm not sure that was the best one we've seen on field. Opening minute of the second term, Blues by 1.
Was that the what did Jason Gillespie call it? Was it the Mondor or something of the like? Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
We've seen some sharper ones at that Rammer over the years.
I don't know where that 50 is. If that's against Nick Newman, he barely moved off the mark, or was it against Sam Walsh who was too close? So that's the ones where the umpires are mic'd up. It should go on the scoreboard why the 50-metre penalty was given.
The Condor is what I'm thinking of.
Condor.
Or the Albatross.
Yeah. Out of the middle. Crows coming away with it. Soligo stripped of it in the tackle. Caught by Walsh. Back and looking better than ever. Little bit of a flower bag kick inside 50. Bouncing ball there to mop up Worrell. Handball just gets to Hamill. Tackled by De Koning. Taken unfairly. Free kick going the way of Hamill and the Crows. They trail by just a point. Trailed by 7 at quarter time. Hamill kicks laterally to Worrell in the back pocket. 2 minutes into the second term. A long kick up towards the wing in the Fogarty direction. Cook there too, coming through Kemp for the Blues. Knocks it down, bounces away from Ollie Hollands. Fogarty wrenched off the footy. Cook gathers, loses it. Ollie Hollands gathers again. Half forward here for the Blues. Fantasia, handball to Walsh, can't gather it. And wrapped up quickly. Ball up half forward. Carlton by a point. 3 minutes into the second.
Corbin, Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas, Lauren Borden, your call team. 3 minutes into the second term. We'll get down to Loz in a moment. See if there's much action down there on the bench. We're up here looking at Sam Walsh here from the stoppage. His hand pass, a turnover. Crouch picks it off for Adelaide. Hand pass to Cook. Handball to Rankin, who's playing up on the ball here early in this second term. Kicks down to Fogarty on the wing. No mark. Spills through to Wiedering, and Fogarty tackles him. Rochelle jars the ball free. Rochelle's hand pass to Ollie Hollands. Ducked and a heavy tackle from Pedlar. And a dangerous tackle, said the umpire. Free kick for the Blues, and Ollie Hollands, the youngest Carlton player on the ground, takes it. The 20-year-old, he goes across the ground to McGovern. Carlton by a point, 3 minutes into the second.
Oh, shocking kick. Cold turnover. Keys marks for the Crows. Men streaming inside 50. One of those is Walker. Tries to get it there. Wiedering. Lunging hand. Brings it down. Gathers at ground level. Gives it back to Williams, who flares his kick to Akers at halfback. And now the Blues are out down the city side.
Akers in game 150. Long kick, but favours Will Hamill. He's one of the two inclusions. Spent all of last year playing SANFL footy. Goes across the ground to Dawson. Short kick to Nankervis, and the shift is on out to the dock side. Picked up by Butts on the bounce. Takes on the tackler. Dangerous hand pass inboard. Turns it over. Hewitt takes it. Rides the contact. Hand pass away towards McGovern. He gives it to Walsh, and Walsh kicks wide for Mackay. Mark's in front of the benches. Carlton by 1. 4 minutes in.
He'll chip it up to the wing. Mark taken there by Newman. Long kick towards Curnow in good position. Bounces off his chest. Hamill there. He could be wrapped up quickly. Just gets a handball away. Kennedy picks it up. Off to De Koning. On his right. Floats a kick into the pocket. Blues in good position. And Mark taken by Fantasia. He had to zig and zag under the floating ball and eventually marked it. 15 out, 45-degree angle.
He snuck out of that contest, Fantasia, so he backed his teammates to win the ball. He runs forward. Luck's a fortune sometimes.
Looks like he's going to go with the left foot snap. Steps out on the left, hooks it through. The Blues have the answer again. They're back out by 7 points. 6-1-37 plays 5 straight 30. 5 minutes gone, second term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanauskas.
He's been pretty good, really, Fantasia this season. Sort of, I think it raised some eyebrows when Carlton gave him another chance. Clearly, it didn't work at Port Adelaide. Bad knees, whatever that was at Port, but he's a good player. Like at his very best, he is a very good player, Razio Fantasia. So now Carlton they've had small forwards. Like the one I think they know is going to come through is Jesse Motlop. He's not in the team at the moment, obviously, but like they've tried Durden, they've tried Owies. So I think getting Fantasia, they were hoping, can he string games together? Because we know he can consistently kick goals.
It's competitive for spots in that position in this Carlton team, and Fantasia holding it down early in the new season. Here's Rankin in the middle of Docklands. Untidy kick. Reaches Crouch on the hop. He's tackled, taken to ground. Ball up middle of the ground. Carlton by 7. Lauren Borden on the boundary.
There was a bit of talk last night as well about the Docklands Stadium surface and if it was a bit slippery. Tex Walker's just had a physio come out with that boot cleaner to scrub the bottom of his boots so his studs aren't full of grass.
Thanks, Loz. Was slipping all over the place last night as Hinge goes long out to half forward. Here is Walker. One-on-one with Wiedering. Lending a hand of support is Williams and knocks it out of play. Boundary throwing 40 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Carlton by 7 points. 6 minutes into the second term. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
Crows captain Jordan Dawson, just the 2 possessions. We're early into this second quarter, but need a little bit more out of Dawson.
One of their 2 All-Australians last year. De Koning winning the tap, straight down to Rankin. Set upon by some Blues. Ball spills out Out of bounds, throwing to come.
Laird,
Forward
9.
here for the Crows.
Shelley, 8. Hinge, 8. Wiedering, 9. Sam Walsh, 9. Zach Williams, 7. Just need a little bit more out of Dawson.
Walker doing the ruck work for the Crows. De Koning out points him, hooks it down. Rochelle gathers for the Crows though. Handball errant. There to mop up Sard. Gives it to Cripps. Tries to ride a bump, but goes out of bounds from that man Dawson. Carlton by 7 points. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Round 5 here at the Docklands.
Been asking people about their favourite unusual jumpers from the past, given it's 27 years to the day since the light blue M&M jumper for the Blues. Jeremy says, I've always liked the Collingwood away jumper, the white with the black stripes, as opposed to the home one, as Rochelle on the outskirts of the stoppage kicks Adelaide inside 50. Cook can't collect it, and Curvis does well, breaks 2 tackles, hand pass away to Walker. He's under pressure, got boot to ball in the tackle from Wiedering. Then Curvis has another go. Hand pass out wide to Cook, taps it inside 50 and hitting up Rankin. Hugs it to his chest, 45-degree angle, he'll kick from 20 out.
Yeah, that's terrific by Cook. So firstly, great work in the contest. Tex Walker fighting through tackles, and Nankervis again. I've been impressed. I liked Nankervis' game last week against Melbourne. I think he started really well today, but he got the ball out to Cook, and Cook in his right to have a shot at goal, but lower the eyes, get the ball to Rankin, who should convert here.
Isaac Rankin. Change of jumper over the off-season. We're in Andrew McLeod's famous number 23 now. Fits perfectly on his shoulders. He moves in and nurses that through. Brings Adelaide back within a point. Carlton 6-1-37. Adelaide 6 straight 36. 1 point game, 9 minutes into the second term. Saturday afternoon footy at Docklands. Corbin Middlemans, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden and Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
Who was in 23 last year?
That is a great question. I can find that out for you.
Yeah. I can't think myself. Who? Or has the jumper been in reset?
Shane McAdam.
Ah.
Yes.
Now at Melbourne.
Yeah, now at Melbourne. Yeah. Very good, Ben. Nice red jumper by you too.
Thank you.
And talking about worst jumpers, Benny's got one of the all-timers on at the moment.
Which was funny because we were looking at some photos from the US, our trip over there, and Rama, when we were in Adelaide last week, said that's the worst jumper I've ever seen, and I've worn it today. Almost as if to deliberately spite him.
Rankin was 22 last year, so he didn't have to move far in the locker list. Just on to the next one.
The Koning winning the tap down from the restart, straight to Cripps, gives it off to Ollie Hollands, who gives it off to the burst of Williams, kicking inside 50. No mark taken, spills to Mackay. Handball away to Smith, trying to break the tackle for the Crows. Gets a handball away to Laird. Handball back towards Smith, misses him. Gathered by Butts, tackled to ground. And a ball up to come, attacking edge of the square for the Blues. Carlton by a point.
Entertaining game so far. The Crows got out by 11 points. Carlton have kicked 4 of the last 5.
Great hands.
Out of the middle. The Crows now through Crouch. He goes short to Walker. Walker kicks long inside the forward 50, and Rankin's got it again. Had a heap of room to work into. Takes the mark. He's just going to dab this over the top. He does so. Pokes it into the path of Keys, who marks left forward pocket for Adelaide.
Look, I'm not going to criticise the Crows being unselfish, because they were very selfish last week inside that forward 50. A little bit worse angle closer in.
I wonder whether it's resonated. It's almost like they've been deliberately unselfish today.
If they used it for motivation, good luck to them.
Ben Keys with his 5th kick. This could be his 3rd goal already. He moves in, he stabs at it, he's got it. He turns the lead around. Adelaide back on top. Lead change number 4. And the Crows go to 7 straight 42. Carlton 6-1-37. 11 minutes gone in the second term, and momentum with the road team. It's Adelaide by 5 points.
Again, if you go back to the stoppage there, Carlton's forwards are again too high up the ground. So Rochelle, beautiful handball over his head, which releases the Crows out of that contest. Then Tex hits up at the football with a little short kick, but you then look down the field and to see where Carlton's defenders are, and Rankin's got basically the whole 50 metre to work in there. So terrific by the Crows to really suck those Adelaide defenders out. But they're going to be better than this, Carl. They're going to get better organised defensively.
So Ben Keys, the first player in the game to 3 goals in the match. Taylor Walker with a couple.
We'll go down to Loz. Adam Sard's going down into the rooms.
Aaron Mackay with a couple. Neither ruck decisive. Saligo picks it up for the Crows. 1-2 with Laird. He'll kick to half forward. in the Rochelle direction. One hand to it, down at ground level. Keys gives it back to Rochelle. Runs a little arc. He gave it back to him illegally. Holding the ball. Free kick going the way of the Blues, and Williams, who gets up sore. Lauren Borden.
The physio ran out to Adam Saad just after that last Keys goal and pulled him off the field. They've gone down into the room, so just checking to find out why he's gone off the ground.
Thanks, Loz. Keep us up to date. There's the kick from McGovern trying to head down the boundary lines, put it out on the full. Former Crow, who spent the first 3 years of his AFL career in Adelaide, gives the footy back to his old mates here. As Jones marks the free kick, plays on, hand pass away to Saligo, spears a kick inside 50. Rochelle drops that going to ground, invites Williams in, hand pass to McGovern, gives it to Cripps, handball out wide to Kennedy for Carlton, and he just chips it short to Mackay. With 2 goals early in the match, in fact 2 of the first 3. A long left footer down to half forward. Worrell floats across in front, and Josh Worrell takes the intercept mark for Adelaide. He goes back to Dawson, and the All-Australian Crows skipper marks almost last line of defence for Adelaide. 13 minutes into the second term, Crows by 5.
A low bullet-like pass out towards the wing. Cottrell breaks it up, brings it down to ground level out of play. And a throw in. Good news out of the Giants game, if you saw it earlier, heavy collision for Sam Taylor. The Giants saying he's been cleared of any major concerns and just being monitored in Canberra Hospital at the moment. Great news for anyone who saw it. Sickening incident. The Koning taking it out of the ruck, handball straight back to the boundary, holding free kick. Dawson to receive it. So the Crows back with it. They lead by 5 points.
You mentioned, man, the word on Cornelia that they don't think it's an ACL, but some kind of knee injury.
Medial,
yes, the Giants saying they don't believe it's an ACL.
Dawson goes long down the wing then, in from the side. Gallant can't take the mark, falls through to Walker. Slick hands though to Keys, kicks inside 50. McHenry on his knees, takes the mark in the corridor. He can kick from 25 out, and the Crows are rolling here.
Yeah, well, and they're doing it, Corps, through quick ball movement. So it's really, again, I know I'm harping on this, but it's catching Carlton's defenders out. Like Carlton are trying to take front position, but they're too far in front of their direct opponent.
Having a bright spot here, Adelaide. To start this second term, Ned McHenry skips in, pokes at it, misses. Gee, should have finished better there. Straight in front from 25 out of behind. Adelaide by 6 points, 7-1 to 6-1 halfway through the second term. Lauren Borden on the boundary.
No official word on Adam Saad at the moment, but Jack Carroll, the sub, has been told by the doctors to go for a little warm-up at the moment.
Kicking goes up the middle to Cripps, who kicks from half-back out to the wing. Thought he should have received 50. It'll bounce out in front of Cottrell and a throw-in on the City side of the ground. Neutral territory on the wing.
Charlie Curnow still the 2 possessions, so hasn't touched the ball in this quarter, and we're 15 minutes in.
Thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport from the throw-in. Pitnet palming it down, gathers it himself, gives it off to Walsh. Back feeds a handball away to Hewitt. Long kick inside 50, looking for a target down there. Always can't mark it. Akers comes through, gives it off to Elijah Hollins. Pulls his kick towards his brother. Can't take the mark at the top of the goal square. Getting back McHenry. Clearing kick for the Crows. Mark taken though by Newman. Right on the arc of 50 for Carlton. Goes into the pocket. Curnow goes up. Doesn't come down with it. Loose footy in the pocket. There's a whistle on the play, and Curnow will get it. Taken high in the left forward pocket. Charles will have a chance at his 3rd kick in the match.
I think it was Hinge sort of running back, took his eyes off the footy. And Brett Roseberry is the best in the game. He didn't like that.
Charlie Curnow, deep in the left forward pocket. In his imperial phase at the moment, swings it through. He's got a couple, and he doesn't need many chances to hurt you. Scores level, 7-1-43, each of 2. 16 minutes into the second term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
You just look at that free kick. It's the Ned McHenry kick initially out of Carlton's 50. It's far too central, and then the ball goes to. I don't know if that's a free kick, but anyway, it's in the book now. Marquis done a good job on Charlie. I know he's kicked 2 goals now, but it's from 3 possessions. He's taken 1 mark, I think, Corb.
Lauren Borden on the boundary, Loz.
So Adam Saad is definitely out of the game. He's still down in the rooms. The paperwork's just been filed for Jack Carroll to come on as the sub, and he's ready to go now.
Well, it's not good news for Carlton fans. Thanks, Loz. So no Adam Sard and Jack Carroll about to join us in the game. So 16 and a half minutes into this second term. Back in the middle. Cripps eventually fighting through traffic. Somehow came out with the footy. Kicks to centre half forward. Worrell front on. Takes on the tackler. Hand pass back into dispute. Hang on. There's a whistle. It's a free kick. It's going Adelaide's way. And it's coming back to Soligo. I can't provide you any more clarity than that. But Soligo's going to get the footy. A good outing last week. Career highs in a lot of categories against the D's in that loss in gather round. Kicks in the middle of the ground to Rochelle. Hand pass to Keys. Big looping hand pass out wide to Cook. Heads inside 50. Would you say he maybe overcooked it? Has over the head of Rankin and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kennedy. His kick out of defence is not that crash hot either. And that is a clanger, and we'll have a pack which forms high half forward for the Crows. Cook goes burrowing in there, and we'll have a ball up. 70 out from the Adelaide goal, 17 and a half minutes into the second term. Scores level.
Both rucks with hands on it, coming through Soligo for the Crows. Handball away to Smith. He gets a handball out, turns it over. Elijah Hollands quickly away towards Newman. Off to Hewitt. Now coming through Cripps. He turns it over under pressure. Crows back with it. Rochelle receives it from Jones. Kicks to half forward. Bouncing ball for Fogarty. Might have been held. Gathers for the Crows. Half forward. Off to Jones. Stabs into the pocket. Getting back. Ollie Hollands marks. Halfback flank here for the Blues. Scores level. 7-1-43 apiece. 18 minutes into the second. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Dangerous here. Trying to come out of defence as Walsh just runs around Fogarty. Kicks wide. Michael Annie, nice. Got his fist in there. Knocks it out of bounds. And a boundary throw in high half forward for the Crows. So Adam Sard out of the game. We'll get further updates on exactly what's wrong with him, but went down the race. In fact, Lauren Borden's got one for us now. Loz.
Carlton have actually confirmed that it's a left hamstring injury for Adam Sard, so it seemed like he knew the moment he was running off the ground, went straight into the rooms and hasn't emerged.
I don't like those. The soft tissue injuries. Adam Sard, left hamstring out of the game. Thanks, Loz. 7-1-43 apiece. Scores level midway through the second term. From the stoppage, Walsh, hand pass to Ollie Hollands. Kicks down the wing. Worrell threw his fist at it, but missed it. Slides out the back. Kerno's onto it. 60 from home. That's unusual, but it might work. Picked up by Durden. Centre half forward. Takes on Cook. Shoots goalward. Kicks it. Corey Durden with a little fend off. Slips the would-be tackler and drives it home to return Carlton to the lead. 8-1-49. The Blues lead Adelaide 7-1-43 as we tick into time on in the second term. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanauskas.
Well, it was an interesting decision by Curnow. He had Harry Mackay leading straight at him. And it would have been a simple kick to Harry, but he kicked it with the outside of his boot, and Durden was able to run onto that. It's only Durden's third touch for the game, so he's been relatively quiet also in Carlton's forward line. But just as that small forward, you make the most of your opportunities.
Mentioned the condor earlier, Ben. Speaking of condors, Fun fact: getting a 4 under in a hole in golf is a condor. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So there you go. If you somehow hole in one of par 5, you got a condor.
Walsh takes it out of the middle for the Blues. Kicks into the path of Mackay. Big collision. It ricochets off his chest, and the Crows are there. Hinge able to get it away towards Crouch, who gives it off the butts. He loses it under pressure, now turns tackler and wraps it up. A ball up to come. 40 out from the attacking goal for the Blues.
A hole in one on a par 5.
I don't know if he's having us on there.
Yeah.
But that's allegedly that's what it is.
Hitnet trying to hack it out of midair. Nothing he can do there. Now Cripps applying the tackle. And another ball up. Carlton by 6 points, 20 minutes into the second term. Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport.
Getting 4 under in a hole in golf is a condor. And yes, they have happened from Rulai in Adelaide. That's off the SMS, 0437 774 774. Out of the stoppage, Crows just bang it forward through Hinge. Says deliberate or insufficient intent or whatever the terminology we're rolling with at the moment is, as Wiedering's going to take the free for Carlton. Goes back to Boyd. Jordan Boyd with his headband on. Swings the kick back to McGovern. Short kick to Kennedy. Just repeating left hamstring injury for Adam Sard. Subbed out of the game. Carroll in a few moments. Short kick to Williams. He's already on the ground, Carroll. Here's Williams. Takes a bit of ground. Drives it inside the forward 50. They all miss it. Gets out the back. Adelaide with more jumpers there. Hinge one of them. Hand pass to Hamill. And Hamill to try and settle it down, but he misses. McHenry invites the Blues back in. Here's Kemp hunting the footy. He's lost it. Is he tackled without it? Says no. Nankervis on the 1-2. Nankervis lost it. Walsh just inside the boundary line. Hand pass to Akers. Tackled. Dispossessed. Says holding the ball. Free kick. It's going to go Adelaide's way. McHenry will get it. He gets a shove too from Akers after winning the footy back. 22 goal second term. Carlton by 6 points. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Gordon Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden, Adam Ramanauskas bringing you all of the action. Kick sent up to the wing. Gallant arriving late. Tries to reach over Kemp, can't mark. Walsh roves the pack, runs a U-turn, hooks the kick back inside 50. To Koning in from the side, doesn't mark. Picking it up, Hinge for the Crows. Handball across the goal mouth, away to Hamill. He'll kick to halfback, a good kick, leading up Keys. He marks on the halfback flank. Has 3 goals in the game for the Crows. The Blues lead by 6.
Scoring straight up for Adelaide after a hot start to this second term, and they can't get it past halfway. And part of the reason for that is Kennedy as he leaps up on halfway, chops it off for the Blues. Goes back to Williams, back to Newman. Looking to try and switch play. Newman says, nope, we're going back out the city side as he pokes the pass to Wiedering. Right half back for Carlton. Short kick to Jack Carroll. The boy from up north in WA takes the mark. Goes short and wide again to Kennedy and pokes the pass further afield to Hewitt. City wing on halfway, just to the short pass to Cottrell. Earlier today, the Giants by a point held off a fast finishing St Kilda. Cottrell looks inside the forward arc here. At the back of the pack is Hamill, can't complete the mark. Ball hits the deck, charging through his hinge. He's taken high. Free kick for Adelaide in their defensive 50. 5 minutes to go before half-time. It's Carlton by 6 points.
And it's a critical little 5-minute period here. I think for both teams, you feel like Carlton are on top now in this game. So really important not to concede now in this next little period.
Hinge's kick just gets to a diving Nankervis. Will mark and then get up and go short to Saligo. Crows in that offensive arc. Kicks into Akers. Knocks it down. Handball to Walsh. Walsh loses it momentarily. Goes back and gets it. Gives it to Akers. Handball off towards a running teammate in Kemp who will fire on goal and miss. Out to the left.
So, Benny, that's the thing. So Akers smothers that ball. And who was it? I think it was Nankervis that kicked it. He didn't go off his line. So Akers must be inside the protected zone. He wasn't on the mark.
Carlton by 7 points. Worrell marks the kick out, goes long down the city wing, and Keys hangs onto it, waits for a runner, dishes off the hand pass to Cook. He can send Adelaide inside 50. Walker the target. Wiedering does well, gets back spoils. Close to the boundary line. Rankin and Kennedy both run out of room. The boundary throwing 30 metres out from the Adelaide goal.
Good battle between Wiedering and Walker. Wiedering's had the 11 possessions. Walker's kicked the 2 goals and set up a couple more. Pretty even.
Get the loss in just a moment. Boundary throw in here. Forward 50 stoppage for the Crows. Can they make something of it? Koning wins the hit out. Down to Hewitt. Hand pass to Walsh. So good to see him back. The champ wearing 18 for the Blues. Hands it to Williams. Hand pass to Wiedering. Kicks out wide. Miss Cottrell. It'll slide out of bounds. No, Worrell keeps it alive for Adelaide. Now it's out. Boundary throw in 60 out from the Crows goal. Lauren Borden.
Concern now on Adelaide's bench. So it's Jordan Butts. He pointed to his hamstring high above his left hamstring. He's getting a lot of work on it now. So he looks pretty uncomfortable at the moment.
Blues leading by 17 points from the throw-in off the back of the hand. Knocked down by Koning. Didn't know much about it. Spills out for the Blues, though. Running by Ollie Hollins. He'll kick laterally across the square. Akers takes it and goes. Kick short. Poor kick. Turnover. And now quickly the Crows back the other way. Here's Nankervis on the logo. He'll kick forward of the logo and the mark taken inside 50 by Rankin. A Crow down in back play, Keane a little sore.
Yeah, after he disposed of that footy ban, Blake Akers just put a hit on him, laid a bit of body on Keane, made sure he felt it, and the umpire actually blew advantage, so he noted that is not all fair play.
Isn't it a 50-metre penalty?
Should be, yeah, blocking the run of the guy that's disposed of the footy. Yeah. And now they're into Akers and Curnow as well downfield, so the Adelaide players aren't happy with that, and Keane's with the trainers.
So Rankin wide out at half forward. Always mercurial. If you liked anyone from here...
Betty, keep going.
Out of bounds on the full. 7 points, Carlton's lead, 26 and a half minutes into the second term.
And all of a sudden, this game may just have a little bit of feeling in it. So Keane staying out there, but he is sore after that hit from Akers on the Irishman after disposing of the footy. And Adam Sard subbed out of the game, left hamstring injury. And Jordan Butts, a complaint on his left hamstring as well. Oh, they ran themselves into a cul-de-sac there, the Blues, and in the end, Zach Williams turns and kicks it out on the full under pressure. Adelaide trying to lock it in. Golant takes the free kick, goes long to the pocket, leaping up camp, no mark, spills to Walker, hand pass too hot for Rochelle. Hang on, there's a whistle here. But everyone stopped. Carlton take the advantage, and they keep on going. Hewitt short kick to Kennedy. He marks at half-back, still in the defensive arc for Carlton. He'll come wide to Boyd. Marks on the back flank, left half-back. The Blues by 7 points. 28 minutes travelled in the second term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Boyd on the half-back flank for the Blues. Low ball up to the wing, looking for De Koning or Mackay. At the back, Worrell juggles it down.
Terrific
Mark's
mark.
lying flat on his back. The surfy blonde locks. Stabs it short. Michaelani, famous Norwood name in South Australia. High ball into the pocket in the O'Brien direction. Wiedering goes up and punches it away. Throwing to come, right forward pocket here for the Crows.
Didn't we love Norwood last week? That was well there Friday and Sunday. It was absolutely terrific at Norwood Oval.
Right on the boundary line.
Yep. A little bit of colourful language every now and then, cause, but that's the passion that the players show.
Nothing we hadn't heard before from the boundary going. Comes through to Kennedy. Hand pass away to Williams for the Blues. Sweeping hand pass to the back pocket. Here's Rankin. Tackle. Dispossessed. Ball comes out. Umpire says throw it in as it triples out of bounds. Max Michaelani, by the way, was got his rising star on the last time these two teams met, which was the opening to the first edition of Gather Round.
Oh, yep.
That was really the breakout game for Adelaide, where they announced themselves, won by 56 points. So that day proved that they're a contender in the competition, and today really trying to prove that they are still one from the boundary throw-in. De Koning wins it down, but to Rochelle, got boot the ball, trickles to the goal square. Kent picks it off for Carlton. At fullback, kicks straight down the pipe. Elijah Hollins tangles with Smith, gave away a free.
Yeah, definitely had the hands around Brodie Smith there, Elijah Hollins, so the umpire was right on the spot.
It was a thumping kick as well, so no issue from here.
Down on the mark, 45 metres out. Brodie Smith, 71 goals in his 252-game career, but hasn't kicked one this season yet. As you touched on a moment ago, Rammer, a big red time here, which we haven't seen a goal kicked. Final 30 seconds of the half. Brodie Smith, his drop punt is out to the left, and in the end it's lucky to score. It's a bit of a word from the boundary ump, who says to the goal umpire, I'm not quite sure, and the field umpire, Brett Roseby, he's always across it. He says, I need the footy. And I get the feeling we're off to the arc. We are. Soft calls are behind.
Review underway.
Which is what it looked like from up here, but you can never be too sure after recent events.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, we can see there is a gap between the ball and the post at all times.
There we go.
On the score.
So it didn't hit the behind post. It'll count as 1. And Adelaide will move to 7-2. Carlton at 8-2. So the Blues by 6 points. Half an hour travelled in this second term as we tick towards half-time. Just repeating earlier today, GWS, they remain undefeated. They beat St Kilda by a single point in Canberra.
So Newman with the kick in, runs to the left back pocket, long ball through the hands of Harry Mackay. De Koning grabs it, gives it off to Walsh. Spiral kick into the middle of the ground, bouncing ball, getting back Keane. Mops up at half-back for the Crows, kicks laterally, mark taken by Smith. And that will do it for the first half. An entertaining game of footy. Carlton will lead by 6 points at the main break, but they've been challenged by the Adelaide Crows. The goal kickers, Keys with 3, 2 to Taylor Walker, 1 to Rankin, 1 to Rochelle. While for the Blues, a couple to Mackay, singles to Fantasia, Durden, Pittonet, Curnow, and also Cottrell. In fact, 2 to Curnow as well. Carlton leading by 6 points at the break.
4 lead changes in the match so far. Adelaide got it out to as many as 11 points at one stage in the opening quarter. And then Carlton kicked 4 of the next 5 in the match. Adelaide edged in front halfway through that second term before the Blues kicking the last 2 of the term. And as a result, it's Carlton who lead by 6 at half-time. Just a little sample on the SMS before we hear from Adam Ramanauskas. We've been asking people about their favourite alternative jumpers over the years, given the fact that it is 27 years to the day since Carlton wore their light blue M&M jumper against the Crows at Princes Park. Peter from Adelaide says it has to be the old Brisbane Bears jumper.
Yeah.
Was a popular one, wasn't it? The maroon and the yellow. Go the Blues. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that. Hi, folks. Round 18, 2004. This might test your memory, Rama. Port Adelaide's Guernsey against Essendon at Docklands, consisting of red and blue vertical stripes. It also had a yellow arrow adorned strip down the middle. I remember seeing it live on TV.
Yeah, that was the Heritage jumper. That was
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Now, we're long overdue for another Heritage round, aren't we?
Yeah, I played in that game.
Right.
Yeah.
And Essendon wore the really thin.
Yeah, real thin.
Sash.
Yep.
I actually had that jumper as a kid, the thin Essendon sash. But the Heritage round was great.
I agree.
All the throwback jumpers from many years ago.
We wore red shorts in one of the Heritage games.
That was the 80s themed one, I think.
Yeah.
That's from Liam off the SMS, but unfortunately we don't have a proper Heritage round anymore. Liv from Marupna, I have an old picture of the Blues jumper that had a white yoke and a blue torso. It was lace up. Checked online, it was circa 1900s. Great call. Thanks, Liv. Appreciate that. From Camo, he's also shouting out the Eagles ochre jumper. He says that he remembers Scotty Cummins obviously wearing that. Appreciate that. Camo in Perth. Phil in Werribee, unusual jumpers. Anything that are not the original, they are horrid. Too much change. How's that from Phil? I don't like things now as much as the way they used to be. I think a little bit from Phil there. Shame Carlton doesn't have 3 jumpers. Would love the light blue back. Wasn't the clash an AFL requirement a few years ago. Missed opportunity. Love the Lions. Current selection with nods to the Bears and to Fitzroy. Sam, who's here at the game. Thanks, Sam. I think most teams have some kind of an alternate jumper nowadays. And last one here, Mandy in Warrnambool. Hi, boys. Worst jumper, 50s, old wool ones. My dad used to play for North in one. Smelled like wet sheep, apparently. After retirement, my stepmum washed it, put it in the dryer, shrunk it, ended up fitting the 3-year-old. Dad was filthy. There's some great stories. Keep them coming off the SMS. 0437 774 774 is the SMS number. Unusual jumpers over the years. The game in front of us, Carlton by 6 points at halftime. The thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
Well, it's Adelaide's ball movement. Now, they're 6 points behind, but I think they had a really good half of football. We were critical of them last week. They looked slow. They looked a bit boring. They were very selfish at times inside their forward 50. But today, if anything, the criticism they're probably being a touch too unselfish inside their forward 50. But it's working. They've got multiple goal kickers there. They've got Rochelle, Rankin, Taylor Walker, Keys, all with goals in that forward line. So they've been working quite well as a forward unit today. I really like when Rochelle and Rankin are getting up the field. When they're getting up the field and getting into play. So there's the passage of play where Rankin's right up at a stoppage on Carlton's half-forward flank, gets a little clearance over. Then there's a short kick to Taylor Walker in the middle of the ground. And then my criticism of Carlton is Adelaide are going into their forward line and Carlton's defenders are nowhere to be seen. They're just so high up the ground at the moment. It's like, where's the anchor player? You think about Tom Stewart and how he plays that role for Geelong. Carlton don't have that, and I think that's because Wiedering's role on Tex Walker. I think if he had the better of Tex Walker in that half, you'd go, okay, Tex, you go up the ground, I'll just sit back. But Wiedering's going all the way with Tex. So Wiedering's had the 12 possessions in that half. Taylor Walker's had 6 but kicked 2 goals and given a couple away. So it's a really fascinating battle between those two, and I think it's where Wiedering has got to say, well, you know what, Tex, if you're going to go 80 out, you're not going to kick it from 80. I've just got to sit back here. I've got to help my defenders. Losing Adam Sard in that second quarter is a big loss because they rely so much on his run. So that puts more pressure on Nick Newman. That puts a bit more pressure on Zach Williams. So Sammy Walsh has looked like he's never missed a game of football. He's had 20 possessions in that first half to go along with the 5 clearances. So he's been absolutely terrific for the Blues. I think just one area that Adelaide can tidy up, they've only had 22 tackles in the half. That's a low number. I know the ball moves quickly here at the Docklands, but 22 tackles for a half of football, if that continues, I think that's going to allow more looks for Curnow and Harry Mackay because Carlton's ball movement will continue on, and that then just might start to stretch Mark Keane, who I think's done a pretty good job on Curnow. Curno's kicked 2 goals, but he's only had 4 possessions. Harry Mackay got his 2 goals in the first part of that first quarter, but Jordan Butts sort of bounced back and has done pretty well. But I just think if there's no pressure at the source, Mackay and Curnow just might be a little bit big come the last quarter.
Carlton by 6 points at half-time, 8-2-50 over Adelaide, 7-2-44. It's been a busy day in the AFL world. Tom Liberatore has been placed in the concussion protocols. A long story short here is that he had no concussion symptoms last night, passed a concussion test, had no symptoms this morning, passed that test, and yet the AFL and the Western Bulldogs have come together to place him in the concussion protocols out of an abundance of caution. So as a result, Tom Liberatore will not play on Thursday against St Kilda.
Big loss.
Absolutely, he's been in tremendous form. After collapsing on field last night. He actually spoke with us on ABC Sport. We'll bring you some of that in just a moment as well. Unfortunately, you're about to hear about a very upsetting story in the news. There's been a shopping centre in Sydney's East that's been evacuated amid reports of stabbings and potentially a number of deaths. So New South Wales Police said emergency services were called to Westfield Bondi Junction just before 4 p.m. Amid multiple reports, the police statement lists that a critical incident has commenced following the shooting of a male at Bondi Junction. It said the operation was underway with shoppers being evacuated. If you want to read more about it, of course, you can find that through abc.net.au/news. 4 lead changes here in the first half. We'll tell you what else is happening in the AFL world in just a moment, and the second half action not too far away. It is Carlton by 6 points. Let's get the latest from the ABC newsroom.
ABC News with Satyam Weinstein. The ABC has been told of potentially multiple deaths following an alleged stabbing inside of a shopping centre in Sydney's East. Here's Danuta Kazaki.
New South Wales Police say the incident happened just before 4 this afternoon inside Westfield Shopping Centre in Bondi Junction. It says emergency services were called with reports of multiple stabbings. The centre has been evacuated with reports some people remain trapped inside some stores. New South Wales Ambulance says there are 2 alleged suspects, with 1 dead after being shot. Police are searching the area with armed officers on the rooftop.
The homicide squad's investigating after a woman died in a home near Bustleton in WA's southwest. Police were called to a home on Bell Drive at Broadwater last night. A person's been taken into custody. Anyone with information is being urged to come forward. An investigation's underway in Tasmania following the death of a 29-year-old man who was in police custody. Sophie Jagers reports.
The man from the Hobart suburb of Glenorchy was arrested after police received reports he was acting in a suspicious and erratic manner. He was taken into custody near Main Road Moona, north of Hobart, just before 2 a.m. and was transported to the Hobart Reception Prison. Half an hour later, he was found unresponsive. Police tried to resuscitate him before paramedics arrived and took over. The man died a short time later. A professional standards probe is underway. The Integrity Commissioner has been notified and the coroner will investigate.
US Vice President Kamala Harris is blaming Donald Trump for an Arizona Supreme Court ruling that enforces a near-total ban on abortion. The ruling brings into effect a 160-year-old law that imprisons abortion providers at any stage of pregnancy, with the only exception being when a mother's life is at risk. Ms. Harris says the former president's responsible for appointing US Supreme Court justices who voted to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Because of Donald Trump, more than 20 states in our nation have bans. Now, because of Donald Trump, 1 in 3 women of reproductive age in our country live in a state that has a Trump abortion ban.
A Tasmanian Independent Upper House MP says there's still unanswered questions about misconduct findings from the Commission of Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse. A review by the state's Auditor General Mike Blake released on Friday cleared departmental secretaries of any wrongdoing and found it was unreasonable to fully blame them for systemic failures. Commissioners intended to make misconduct findings but were restricted by Tasmanian law, while 22 public servants received Section 18 notices for possible misconduct. Independent Nelson MP Meg Webb says the Blake review was narrow and the government still has questions to answer.
We are still waiting to hear from the government to clarify who are the 22 public servants who received Section 18 notices from the Commission of Inquiry relating to possible misconduct. And we need to see full visibility around actually what that entailed.
Tasmanian Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe says the Blake Review was able to give assurances to the Tasmanian community. Voters have been casting their ballots in a by-election in the southern Sydney seat of Cook. It's sparked by the retirement of local member and former Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who held the seat since 2007. Cook is one of the safest Liberal seats in the country, held by a margin of 12%. Labor isn't putting anyone forward, while Simon Kennedy is contesting the seat for the Liberals. These voters spoke to the ABC about having mixed feelings about Mr Kennedy.
We just like him better than Scott Morrison. We just think he's going to be better for this area and hopefully, make some good changes. So
it's like an election that doesn't really matter. Like, we all know who's going to get in. So it's a bit of like I feel not a waste of time, but just a missed opportunity to put a real strong local voice forward. And it feels like we need another option.
Emergency workers have rescued 2 bushwalkers trapped near a waterfall in the Gold Coast hinterland. A Queensland Fire and Emergency Services spokesperson says crews were called to Coomera Circuit at Binnaburra after 2 men got stuck while attempting to scale a waterfall and called for help. Queensland Ambulance says crews walked to the location and the bushwalkers have been retrieved. And emergency services are searching for a man who was diving off a beach south of Melbourne today. The area around Sorrento Beach on the Mornington Peninsula is being searched by Victorian SES, Lifesaving Victoria and the Police Air Wing. You're up to date with the latest from ABC News. Get more news at any time by downloading the ABC Listen app.
G'day, this is Becky Cole inviting you to join me each week for Saturday Night Country. For more than 30 years, we've been playing the best in Australian country music, as well as the overseas artists that you know and love. So whether it's the classic tunes that you grew up with, the best new releases, or the interviews of your favourite acts, you'll find it all on Saturday Night Country. Saturday Night Country, hear it anytime on the ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Hands it to Rankin, kicks to half forward. Rochelle crashes into Newman. It takes the mark about 60 metres out at half forward. Oh, there's going to be 50 here. It's an absolute gift. And Rochelle receives that, pops it through, and then takes flight as he flaps his arms almost like a crow.
Off to De Koning. On his right, floats a kick into the pocket. Blues in good position. And mark taken by Fantasia. Steps out on the left. Hooks it through. The Blues have the answer again.
Hand pass out wide to Cook. Dabs it inside 50 and hitting up Rankin. Change jumper over the off-season. We're in Andrew McLeod's famous number 23 now. Fits perfectly on his shoulders. He moves in and nurses that through. Brings Adelaide back within a point. Walker kicks long inside the forward 50 and Rankin's got it again. Had a heap of room to work into. Takes the mark. He's just going to dab this over the top. He does so. Pokes it into the path of Keys, who marks left forward pocket for Adelaide. It's going to be his 3rd goal already. He moves in. He stabs at it. He's got it. He turns the lead around. Adelaide back on top. Lead change number 4.
So Adam Sardi's definitely out of the game. He's still down in the rooms. The paperwork's just been filed for Jack Carroll to come on as the sub, and he's ready to go now.
Perno's onto it, 60 from home. That's unusual, but it might work. Picked up by Durden, centre half forward, takes on Cook, shoots goalward, kicks it. Corey Durden with a little fend off, slips the would-be tackler and drives it home to return Carlton to the lead.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
The unbeaten Blues and the winless Crows has been a fun game so far. 4 lead changes in that first half. The margin has not been beyond 11 points either way. And at half-time, it is Carlton who lead it by 6. The Blue Baggers 8-2-50 over Adelaide 7-44. So that's how it stands at the moment. At half-time, Corbin Middlemass alongside Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas in the ABC box and Lauren Borden standing by on the boundary. It is the second of 4 games on the Saturday slate in round 5. Earlier today, GWS injury soured their victory over St Kilda. The Giants remain undefeated at 5-0. 11-14-80 defeating St Kilda 12-7-79. The Saints finishing with a rush. They got within a point, but that's as close as they got. GWS hanging on to win by a solitary point. It's the second 1-point game of the young season so far. I think the only other one was way back on the opening Friday night of the season, in which Carlton were able to beat the Brisbane Lions, coming from 46 points down. On the injury front, Ben, so Sam Taylor involved in probably one of the most gruesome concussion incidents that we've seen in some time. He collided with Jack Steele in the air and didn't actually break his fall, so didn't try and brace for contact, which probably suggests he was out before he hit the ground, and unfortunately was unconscious for really what looked like 8 or 9 minutes before they were able to get him off the ground.
Yeah, it was a concerning period of time with Sam Taylor laying on the ground. There was such a big break in the game that it almost became like a timeout. The coaches addressed their groups. It was deeply concerning. The good news is that the Giants have tweeted an update this afternoon and said that he's conscious, he's well in hospital, he's been cleared of serious injury, and that he's just being monitored at the moment. Stephen Cornelio also injured his knee. It did look bad for a moment there, but it's revealed that the Giants believe that it's not an ACL. So possibly a medial. Could have been worse, but not an ideal afternoon in Canberra for the Giants.
They got the result, but certainly came at some cost, with Taylor and Cornelio set for stints on the sideline. Meanwhile, out of last night's game, Tom Liberatore has been ruled out of the Thursday night match against St Kilda, despite the fact that he's been cleared of concussion. He had no concussion symptoms last night, passed a SCAT-5 test, and he passed had no further symptoms this morning. Despite that, out of an abundance of caution, he's been placed into the concussion protocol.
I don't understand that. So he's passed all the tests. Why wouldn't they just continue to monitor him as the week progresses?
I think optics.
Yeah, but why? Just if there's nothing wrong with the guy, like you miss a game of football for what reason?
Do you think part of it is, the image and the look of it, like Ben said, the optics, that a player collapses on field and the AFL will be thinking, gee, even if they say he's right, we don't want him running around out there next week in 6
But then
days.
why have the test? That's what they're there for.
Yeah, so they're saying abundance of caution. Wouldn't you want to know why he toppled over like that? So he was with us last night. This is what Tom Liberatore had to say post-game last night on ABC Sport.
Tom, can we just ask about you first? There was a scary moment in the last few minutes with your health. Everything okay?
No, everything's good. I just sort of came up and I lost balance in my ankle. So I tweaked my ankle about just started the last quarter. So then that sort of relayed when I got up. I fell back down, but it's, all good.
The TV cameras captured it. I think everyone's quite worried about it.
But all good. No, all fine. No symptoms and full recollection, everything, so all good.
It was pretty nice of Darcy Parish, who sort of grabbed you in the end and straightened you.
Yeah, absolutely. Might have saved me a week or two.
So that was the interesting part of it at the end. Might have saved me a week or two. So it sort of suggested that he had the concussion protocols on his mind in that moment. And I don't know what happened, and I don't even think we really need to know, but I know enough that he didn't tweak his ankle. That's not why he fell down in that moment.
No, but I don't know why he would say that.
Other than if he's aware of the fact that, hey, this is how it's going to look, the AFL and everybody's going to intervene and say, hey, we think you've got some kind of a delayed concussion.
But I get the caution part of it.
Yep.
But then Brody Kemp there, who hits his head on the ground in the first quarter or whatever, does he get ruled out for an abundance of caution?
He didn't collapse though in the same way.
I know, but we've got to be careful. Like, we've got to trust the test. That's what they're there for.
And the doctors?
Yeah, and of course, and absolutely the doctors. So,
which interestingly, the Bulldogs doctors seem pretty comfortable with it.
Gary Zimmerman's one of the best doctors there, and one of the most experienced doctors there is.
Yeah. And we spoke to we spoke to the AFL today and asked where it was at, and they said their chief medical officer was continuing to liaise with the Western Bulldogs doctors. They hadn't found anything on the vision yet that suggested that he'd taken a head knock.
So he won't play. That's what we know now. He's out of an abundance of caution placed into the concussion protocols. And Tom Liberatore out of Thursday night against St Kilda. As you can probably hear in the background, we're ready to go for the second half. The players out in position. It is Carlton by 6 points. An entertaining opening half with 4 lead changes. Let's see what the second half gives us. On ABC Sport, you're with Ben Cameron.
Umpire Williamson lays it down into the ground. O'Brien and also Pitnet with hands on it. Rankton swoops on it for the Crows. Handball to Saligo. Cripps tackles O'Brien. Loses it. Umpire lets them play. And then eventually picks out a free kick. It'll go to Saligo. Crows with it, gives it to Rankin, starting in the middle again. He kicks inside 50, bouncing ball. No one able to gather it initially. Ollie Hollands goes in for the Blues. Chase Jones extracts it. High free kick again, this time to the Blues. Ollie Hollands inside his defensive arc for Carlton.
Just 4 possessions for Jordan Dawson in that first half, so I want a big lift out of him in this second half, the Crows.
Ollie Hollands with a kick out to the wing. Slapped to stay in play by Curnow. Gets it off towards Owies, who goes to Boyd. Back to Curnow. Kick up to the wing for Carlton. No one marks. Laird Rose for the Crows. Here is Dawson. 5th disposal. It's a good one. A chip kick over the top, and Walker marks 45 out directly in front.
So it's the same matchup there. So it's still Jacob Wiedering and Tex Walker. That occasion, Wiedering is a couple of metres behind Taylor Walker. So terrific kick by Jordan Dawson, just his 5th possession. But I'm not sure Wiedering knows where to start on Tex Walker. It's real confusion at the moment for Wiedering.
Walker into a little trot from the arc of 50. Walker goes whack! And the Crows draw level again. 8-2-50 apiece. Taylor Walker's third. We've played 90 seconds in this second half. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden. Here's Adam Ramanauskas.
And again, they've started with Rankin in the middle of the ground with Rory Laird and Saligo. I just like Rankin up there. I know I've said it, and I'm sounding like a bit of a broken record, but he just looks more involved in the game when he's up higher up the ground. When he's playing as that forward, he finds he tends to get too deep, and he's just out of play for long periods of time. Generally, when the ball's in Rankin's hand, something good happens.
We'll get down to Lauren Borden in just a moment. An update on Adam Sard, subbed out of the game if you're just joining us, and where the Crows are at health-wise. Early stages in his second half as O'Brien wins the hit out back in the middle. Pitternet gets boot to ball. He was taken high. Free kick for Pitternet in the middle of the ground. Lauren Borden.
Matt Crouch is just down on the boundary at the moment, so he'll come back on with a pretty heavy strapping. He's got a bit of a corky. Adam Sard, as you mentioned, with a hamstring injury, subbed out early in the game.
That service as Kennedy out of the centre square hits up Curnow, leading out of the goal square and takes it at right half forward. He'll kick from about 45 out.
Yeah, well, you can't ask for better service as a forward. It was a beautiful kick by Matt Kennedy. It's the gaping hole there inside Carlton's forward 50 where Curnow just led straight to it. And beautiful kick.
Actually, both teams have been extremely accurate. The ball's spent a fair bit of time up and down the corridor, as it often does with the roof shut. Fast footy here at Docklands. 8-2-50 apiece. The best goal kicker in the game, Charlie Curnow, moves in. His drop punt is out to the left. That was always going to miss. Carlton 8-3. Adelaide 8-2. 3.5 minutes into the third term. The Baggers by that behind.
We've stopped a few today, haven't we?
Yeah. You're the worst.
Winks isn't running this year.
Kick in from Hinge. Moves it up to Nankervis. Has a lot of it. Paid the mark. And not a bad afternoon, Nankervis. He'll kick forward of the wing towards McHenry. Stands and marks. Crows forward of the wing. Handball to Laird. Handball to Smith. Kick inside 50. Fogarty's out the back. Well getting back. McGovern gets a hand on it. On the line, Rankin. Hand to foot and a flush, and he's kicked the goal. Or has he?
Check it.
He didn't really take possession of the ball. Slapped it down onto his boot. And he's got boot to ball right on the line, I reckon. Maybe just before it. I think that's a goal. What do you reckon, Ram?
Goal.
Before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision.
That'll do.
That's it.
That is very quick and slick from Isaac Rankin on the goal line. And the Adelaide Crows stick their beaks in front again. 9-2-56 plays 8-3-51. They're out by 5 points, 5 minutes into the third. Adam Ramanauskas on Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
It's end-to-end, really, for the Crows there. And you know, that kick to was terrific by Mitch McGovern to get a fist in. But you know, virtually goes untouched from Curnow missing the set shot all the way down the other end to Adelaide now kicking the goal. And I've been critical tonight of Carl's defenders, and again, they're just caught too high up the ground. Terrific play by Adelaide. Like we didn't see this ball movement last week against Melbourne.
We had 6 lead changes here last night in the Friday night game between Essendon and the Western Bulldogs. We've had 5 already. 5 minutes into the third term, Adelaide back on top by 5. Out of the middle, Pitternet grabs it out of the ruck, kicks to centre half forward, carries the head of Michael Annie and Owies. Picked up by Smith of the Crows, just bangs it up to the wing in front of the interchange gates. It bowls past McHenry and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in front of the interchange gates. Hi team, enjoying the call, boys. Rama, really enjoy and love your input. Good to hear you from Phil in Melbourne.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I appreciate a bit of love.
Nice bit of feedback, and don't worry, there's plenty of suggestions for some of the worst jumpers that we've seen over the years. 27 years, by the way, to the day since Carlton first wore their light blue jumper. As Cripps to Walsh to DeConing, back to Walsh, kicks inside the forward arc, and chopping in the hole is Worrell. Takes the intercept mark, half back for Adelaide. Crows by 5 points, 6 gone third term.
Worrell goes to fullback. Keane, the Irishman, kicks up the middle, just gets it to Saligo. Late closing pressure coming from Mackay. Gives it to the run of Michael Annie. Defensive edge of the square. Sends it out towards the dockside wing. Crouch takes the mark in one hand. Sweeping handball. McHenry, half forward, stabs it short. Not the 15. Rochelle tackled to ground. Newman wrenches him to the ground. And a ball up to come.
That's unlucky. Yep. Seen a lot shorter be paid, Corbs.
Crows by 5 points. And with the momentum of the match at the moment.
Umpire tosses it in the air. Spills down towards DeConing, just whacks it out to Walsh, somehow got it to Williams off the back flank, kicks down the wing for Carlton, back with the flight Worrell, hands on it, no mark, invites Durden in for the Blues, hand pass releases Elijah Hollands, kicks downhill, running back with it is Owies, can't reel it in, he traps it eventually though, gets rid of Jones, hooks it on the right boot through for a goal. His back and forth shootout continues as Carlton jump back on top. The Blues by a point, 9-3-57. Adelaide 9-2-56. 7.5 gone third term. Lead change number 6. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, and you go all the way back to the stoppage there. So Adelaide desperately unlucky not to have that mark to Rochelle inside forward 50. But then there's a stoppage, and the hands of Sam Walsh in that contest is in mid-air, and just a little handball out the back which released Zach Williams. Then it was just go for Carlton from there. Their ball movement going inside forward 50. The Crows defenders were all high up the ground. Chase Jones probably would like that moment back, I would say. He probably should have went to the body of Matt Owies, but Owies good enough to pick that ball up, snap over his shoulder. Great goal.
6th lead change of the match. Crows come away with it from the middle. Crouch getting it away towards Rankin, who gives it to Saligo. Spots up Walker. 55 out. Heads into the pocket. In the direction of Dawson. The captain pulls in the mark. Right forward pocket. And we'll go back with a set shot. Look at the sticks.
Well, we saw this last week, Benny, where Dawson, late in that game against Melbourne, went forward and was able to hit the scoreboard. So he's only had the 5 possessions, Jordan Dawson. So it's a very quiet game for him. But if he hit the scoreboard, that would be a big help.
They're 2 All-Australians from last year combining. Dawson is their reigning best and fairest. Right forward pocket for a captain's goal. Puts it through. Crows back in front. And it's a seesawing battle beneath the lid at Docklands. Adelaide by 5 points, 10-2-62. Plays 9-3-57, Adam Ramanauskas.
So Taylor Walker's had the 8 possessions. So 7 kicks, 1 handball. He's kicked 3 goals. He's taken 7 marks in this game. 6 of those marks have basically been inside forward 50. He took 1 mark in the centre of the ground in that second quarter, which created a goal. But again, there you look at Jacob Wiedering just trailing him in. Well, it's a beautiful kick. I think it was Saligo out of the centre bounce. But look, it's a great game so far by Taylor Walker.
Thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas alongside myself, Corbin Middlemaz, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Crows back on top. Out of the middle goes Laird. Sends him inside 50 again, but Kemp is in the back pocket to take the intercept mark. 10 minutes into the third term. Adelaide by 5. We've had 3 lead changes in the quarter already. Long kick down the line. DeConing flew for it. Spills to Ollie Hollands, and he's tackled. Interesting stage of the match. 7 lead changes in total. The biggest margin either way was Adelaide by 11 points as we ticked into time on in the opening term. It's the Crows by 5 here, 10 gone in the third.
The Lamp winning the tap, slapping it forward for the Crows, getting after it. Ollie Hollands, he's on the deck. The lead is over him, ball up to come, half forward for the Crows. They lead it by 5 points. 7 lead changes, as Corby said. Golant slapping it down in the direction of Laird again at the bottom of the pack. Great story off the rookie list. What a player he's become. Rory Laird, 3 times a best and fairest winner, wearing the gold jacket, taking home the Malcolm Blight medal. The Koning takes it out of the ruck for the Blues, kicks up towards the wing. No one able to mark it off the hands of Hamill. Coming through, Walsh, tackled to ground by Dawson. And another ball up, coming up on the logo.
Would you rather a gold jacket or a green jacket?
I think the green jacket, yeah.
Green jacket.
Probably worth a little more as well.
Big weekend. Is it Cam Davis going okay there?
He's going well.
In the mix for the Australians. Flying the flag at Augusta National through the stoppage. Ollie Hollands, that was neat. Got it to Cripps, the Brownlow medalist. Hand pass out to Hewitt. Sends it inside 50. Oh, he's outsized. Competes in the air. Hits the deck. Mackay wraps up Worrell. Umpire says, I'll have it. And the ball up right on the 50. 5 metres in for the boundary line. Half forward for the Blues. Adam Saad pinged his left hamstring earlier. Subbed out of the game. Sam Berry yet to come in. The tactical sub for Adelaide. De Koning grabs it out of the ruck at the restart. Oh, he's clever. Hooks it back into a dangerous spot. Smith picks it off. Elijah Hollands runs him down, holding the ball. And Hollands will be rewarded. He'll get the kick 20 metres out, 45-degree angle, right half forward for Carlton.
Just a bit slow. Brodie Smith there. You don't see Brodie Smith get caught too often, but Hollands just tracked it. Elijah, that is, just tracked him and then was able to lay a really good tackle.
Number 20 on his back. Had an adductor injury, but able to shake that off. Suspension, missed the first couple of games of the season, but joins his brother Ollie at Carlton. He's new Hollands. Elijah pops it through, and Carlton swing it back their way. 10-3-63, Adelaide 10-2-62. 13 gone in the third term. It is Carlton by a point. We are up to 8 lead changes. Adam Ramanauskas, ABC Sport.
It's terrific. This is what you want. You want it to be, the twists and turns of a game of football as well. If Elijah Hollands can bring this into his game consistently, the tackling, like we know with ball in hand, he's a very high draft pick to the Gold Coast Suns. Obviously traded back last year to Carlton. If he can bring this to his game, he'll become one of the more elite forwards in the competition. He's got all the skills. He can kick goals. He can run. But the criticism has always been of Elijah as around his defensive side of the game. So if he brings that element, look out.
Restart in the middle. Pitnet puts it into the path of Hewitt. Handball towards Cripps. His handball knocked down. Crows back in possession. Coughing it up though, Crouch. Hewitt wins it back for the Blues. Off to Walsh. Surging kick inside 50. Cottrell slips his man Hamill to mark. 40 out directly in front.
Pick 7, Elijah Hollands. Yeah. That up. People forget that, don't they, in 2020. So top 10 pick, and what a player he'll be for Carlton.
There was a Hewitt in there just with that release handball to Sam Walsh. Sam Walsh up to 24 possessions now, comfortably the leading possession winner on the ground. Next best is Zach Williams at 18.
Matt Cottrell. What a player he's become for the Blues. 40 out, directly in front, tugs it left. Leaves one out there. Carlton double their advantage. They lead by 2 points.
Does that count? Commentators curse that one? Yeah. Or what a player?
Yeah. We're up to about 7 today, aren't we, as a unit?
Here's Keane, goes long, straight down the pipe, trying to take the short way home as O'Brien whacks it away, but there's a free kick. Pitnet was being held in all of that. And so Mark Pitnet, in for his first game of the season, laid in for Gerra, kicks it towards the pack in which Mackay and Curnow compete, but it spills down Adelaide's way. Hinge, hand pass to Nankervis. Sharp hand pass, spilt by Laird, drilled in the Walsh tackle. Pack forms around him, ump says I'll have it. The ball up, right half forward for the Blues. And a fun back and forth tussle. 4 lead changes in the quarter alone, 8 for the game. Umpire tosses it up again. O'Brien down to Hewitt of Carlton. Hand pass away to Akers, gives it to Walsh in his 100th game, kicks to the top of the goal square. Worrell punches it through for a rush behind. And Carlton lead by 3. So 10-5, Adelaide 10-2. 15 minutes gone in the third term. Corporate Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas, Lauren Borden on ABC Sport. Saturday afternoon footy, Carlton by 3.
Worrell, short kick, gets it back from Hinge and kicks it out of bounds on the full. So the Blues back in possession. High half forward. Short kick from Boyd. Away to Ollie Hollins. Kicks in the path of Curnow. From 3 deep, can't mark, coming through Fantasia. Soligo goes over the top of him. Umpire wants to ball it up. 30 out from the attacking goal, and all of a sudden the momentum belonging to Carlton. Umpire puts it up. Pitnet hooks it down. Trying to get it towards Carroll. Clearing kick. Led back into the middle of the ground. Bouncing ball. Blues have the numbers. Crows do well through Gollant. Handball away towards Cook. Runs into a cul-de-sac. Handball away to Smith. Handball out to Nankervis on the logo. Slips one tackle. Gives it off to Crouch. He kicks out wide. And Keys can mark. Carlton by 3, 16 into the third.
He's got 3 goals himself. Ben Keys had them all by the 11-minute mark of the second term. Lays it off by hand here to the skipper, who's straight on the interchange. Kicks a helicopter inside 50. Good luck marking that. Kennedy does. Kicks it straight back to Dawson. Goes inside 50 again. Another one with the lot. It'll clean bowls a couple. Jones at the back. Tackle without the footy, surely. Ollie Hollins ran him down. Gollant throws the boot at it. Hump says all clear. A major for the Crows. And enough to swing the lead again. This back and forth sequence right throughout the third term continues. The 5th lead change of the quarter, the 9th of the match. And Adelaide on top by 3. The Crows 11-2-68. Carlton 10-5-65. 17 gone in the third term. And Lockie Gollant has his first of the day.
For a brilliant kick. They're probably 2 of the worst Jordan Dawson kicks I've ever seen.
Yes.
The first one nearly dribbled along the ground. He ran off the bench and got the handball. Then the second one was one of the all-time great floaters.
In the end, it almost goes down as an effective kick. They got what they wanted out of it.
They got a goal out of it, so it's an effective kick. And a lot of times that chaos ball inside your forward 50 works because it just catches the defenders unaware. So, yeah, he's a beautiful kick normally, Jordan Dawson, but he's not kicking him well this year.
From the restart in the middle, both rucks with hands on it. Tackled quickly. Here's Soligo. So another ball up just outside the outer of the 2 circles in the middle of the ground. Both rucks miss it this time. Ball tumbling around in the bullseye. Picking it up Hewitt for the Blues. Off to Walsh. Kick out towards the wing. Out in front of Ollie Hollins. Hinge attacks it. They both collide. Spits out in the path of Cottrell. He's wrapped up quickly. Jones there with him. Ball up to come between wing and half forward for the Blues. 9 lead changes in the match.
5 in the third term. Adelaide by 3 points at the moment. 18 gone in the third quarter. It's been a cracking contest so far as Laird gets a hand pass away to Jones. Gives it to Soligo. Lifts a hand pass to Keys and he's out. Outskirts of the stoppage. Kicks Adelaide to half forward. Awkward half volley for Walker. Can't trap it. Picked up by Boyd. Feeds a hand pass back for Carlton. To McGovern, the former Crow, pokes his kick out wide and finds Newman. Nick Newman, the lefty, chips it short. Here's Kennedy against the boundary line city side. We're only halfway through the third quarter. It's had plenty in it so far. Heads down to half forward. Kerner competes in the air, no mark. Falls to Soligo. Hand pass to Keane. Keane short kick along the boundary line and Laird takes the mark. Between wing and half back for Adelaide. 19 minutes gone in the third term. Adelaide by 3.
Laird will come infield. Good kick for Hinge. Oh, not the required distance, so Hinge just stabs a kick forward. Jones, it won't find him. Bounces past him. The Blues arrive in numbers. Picking it up quickly is Newman. Left foot kick in the Curnow direction. Might have been a Falcon there on dirt and advantage to the Blues. Cottrell gathers. Handball back to Ollie Hollins. Handball to Curnow. Steps his man. Likes his chances from 50. Across the face it goes. Off hands, through for a behind. Crows lead back to 2 points. 19 and a half into the third.
It was a good old-fashioned Falcon for Corey Durden, wasn't it? Yep, straight off the bonds.
It's got Sharon imprinted on his forehead at the moment.
That hurts.
Yep. Have you ever had one like that?
Oh, I catch it.
Yeah. Here's Worrell, who goes long out to the big ruckman. O'Brien marks at half-back for Adelaide.
I remember one of the boys at training one day, straight in the face, knocked him out cold.
Oh, no. Jeez.
I reckon it might have been Judd Lelich.
Right. I was watching a bit of his work actually the other day, playing for one of those throwback games on Fox Footy. Old ruckman for Essendon, Judd Lalich. Switches on as Carlton win it back on the wing, so they're going to go back and across as Kennedy retreats to McGovern and now out to Elijah Hollands. Kicked a goal already in his third term. He looks corridor. Good mark for Boyd. He's becoming a real player in this Carlton team. Boyd off the back flank, kicks inside the forward 50. Here's Harry. And Mackay marks it right half forward, leading up in that channel. And he hangs on to it right half forward for the Blues.
Yeah, well, he didn't get much of the footy in that second quarter, Harry, so it's taken him nearly 20 minutes to sort of touch the ball in this third quarter as well. So he needs to come back into the game for the Blues.
Had 77 shots last year, kicked only 29 goals. A Coleman medalist from 2021 is
77 set shots.
Yeah, 77, for 29 goals. Here he is with his new routine, his left-footed drop punt, is headed goalward and hits the post. We're all scrambling on the line, trying to usher it through. Wipes off one, halves Adelaide's lead. Crows by a point. 21 minutes gone in the third term. It's Carlton 10-7, Adelaide 11-2. The Crows by one. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Ben Cameron, Corbin Middlemass, Lauren Borden on the boundary. And Adam Ramanauskas, your call team. Adelaide by one.
Been a fun Arvo at the footy. Hinge with the kick-in, delivers onto the chest of Jones. Filled out a bit since he was drafted. Has it on the half-back flank. Kicks around the city wing to a contest on the wing. Wiedering in front. O'Brien behind. Swirls it down. Onto it. Hewitt for the Blues. He'll kick to half forward. Curnow gliding through the air to mark. Nothing he likes yet. 60 out from goal. He'll send it long towards full forward. Mackay's down there. Can't mark. It'll come down. Oh, he snaps and goes.
We're just going to have a little look, Benny, here. A lot of hands in that snap.
It would be his second. We'll check it. Through all the fingers. Soft call is touched. Been a big week for the Blues and touch calls.
Or is there just a pinky finger there? I think it is a Cook.
Yeah, that's Cook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're going to have the...
no, his hands are nowhere near it, Rama.
But does it hit his shoulder? Or the part of his bicep?
Not this again for the Blues. It was the shoulder of James Aish last week. I don't think anyone touches that.
If the soft signal, though, is touched, it's going to be pretty hard to overturn it. You have to definitively prove that...
These angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball is touched or not. Decision on the scoreboard.
No, we'll stay with the on-field call, which you're an advocate for, Corbin. You say perfect is the enemy of the good.
Yep, look at it a couple of times, 15 seconds max. We can't get a definitive result. Let's just go with what the goal umpire said.
I don't think the Blues fans agree with you, Corbin.
I think that's obvious. We'll get one back their way. They may have already had it. What happened last week? Scores level, 68 points apiece, 23 gone in the third. As Adelaide try to work it up quickly out towards half-back. Crouch against the boundary line, feeds a hand pass through to Chase Jones. Swings Adelaide up into the front half. Walker competes with Newman, forces it out of bounds. And a throw in on the wing. Plenty of your takes coming through off the SMS. I'll get to some of those. The footy has been so good in this third quarter. We've had multiple lead changes, 5 in fact in the third quarter alone. Earlier in the game we've been asking people about their favourite, ugliest jumpers perhaps throughout history after Carlton now 27 years to the day since they first wore the light blue jumper against the Crows. A commercial deal with blue M&M. From the boundary throwing the balls back out of bounds. The Saints Heritage Candy Stripe and the Stickman jumper are classics. From Josh, hey Corby, worst jumper I've seen is Carlton's bright yellow jumper they wore against Fremantle in 2009. Loving the enthusiasm throughout the call.
That one.
It was all yellow, navy blue CFC.
O'Brien winning the tap down, straight towards Croucher, gives it to Keys, gives it to Jones, kick to half forward, bouncing ball for the Blues. McGovern off his shins, it tumbles out, throwing it half forward for Carlton.
What was heritage about that jumper?
Sorry, half forward for Adelaide.
I don't think it was a heritage one. I think it was just, again, another commercial deal or alternate strip somehow. How about the night that the Roos sold a game to Orange, the telecommunications company, and wore the orange bounding Roo? A mate of mine has David King's entire kit from that game, from Chris in Werribee.
Entire kit. Blues come away with it from the stoppage. Taken down quickly in a strong tackle, though, is Hewitt, who eventually gets to his feet. And a ball up to come on the wing. Scores level. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Cracking third term from the restart. Comes down towards Carroll. Gets his hands free. Hand pass over to Hewitt. Then to Newman. Back to Carroll. He's under pressure now. He's almost tackled by Dawson before he got the footy. Crows win it back. Saligo to Jones. Gives it to O'Brien. Back to Jones. Heads inside 50. Keys courageous. Marking overhead. Knew the traffic was coming behind him. And Keys hangs on to it in the corridor. He'll kick from centre half forward 40 metres out.
Yeah, I think the intended was Lockie Gallant. No doubt. They're coming right up the guts of 50, but unbelievably courageous by Ben Keys. He knew there was oncoming traffic, stuck the hands up, floated through that pack and took a really courageous mark.
88th consecutive game. It is the 6th longest streak in the AFL.
He's done a terrific job since coming from Brisbane. He wasn't wanted there.
Discarded, found himself in state league footy, and Ben Keys, low trajectory drop punt, whacks it into the post. It's a go-ahead score for Adelaide. They lead by 1. 11-3 to 10-8. Crows by a point.
Sorry, Corbin. Top 5 best and fairest finishes at the Crows the last couple of years. He's put together a really good career at the Crows.
You love to see it because you feel like he's one of those guys who's sort of wringing the neck out of his talent, isn't he? Short kick in goes to Wiedering, who moves it laterally away to McGovern in the left back pocket.
Well, he empties the tank every week with the talent he's got. That's all that you can ask for of a footballer.
Short to Wakers, half-back flank for the Blues. A long kick to the city wing. Massive pack will form. Hinge in the end, nearly uncontested. Takes the mark for the Crows. Gives it to his skipper Dawson. Gives it off to Smith. Running long kick inside 50. Walker at the back reads it best. Sticks out his leg to protect the drop. Shoes Wiedering out of the area and claims it. 30 out directly in front.
Well, it's to take Wiedering off the line of the ball. So Wiedering looked like he was going to mark that ball. Tex comes late, just with the boot in the back of the calf. And that just takes Wiedering off the line, and it's a really good mark in the end.
Taylor Walker spinning the footy in his hands. Socks up, directly in front. He is a beautiful kick of the footy. Crows out by 7. 12-3-75. Plays 10-8-68. Walker's got 4. We've played 27 minutes in the third term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, and Carlton have kicked 5 behinds where just over the last 10 minutes of football where they've had some really easy shots. Adelaide then on the other hand have kicked the 2 goals, so they've actually capitalised on their, it's been probably limited opportunities in this quarter inside 50, but to have 5 goals to 2 in this quarter in their favour has been a terrific. Again, we speak about ball movement so often in this game. Like that extra handball, Carlton defenders roll back, but it's kicked straight inside forward 50. It gives Tex the best opportunity.
Adam Ramanaskas on ABC Sport. Crows by 7, so they get back-to-back goals, and that has been hard to come by in this third term as Laird gets a hand pass. It releases Crouch. Adelaide out of the middle again. Kicks inside 50. McGovern plucks it over Gallant at half-back and could rebound for Carlton. Kicks to Mackay. Marks on his chest up on halfway. Rides contact from Crouch. Kicks looking for Curnow, and he takes the mark.
He's just got to go back and kick this goal.
Absolutely. A step inside the 50, and he's realising that now as Big H runs past his partner in crime and tells him to pump the brakes and have a look at the big sticks. It's been goal for goal right throughout this third quarter. We've had 5 lead changes in the term. And now Adelaide stringing consecutive goals together to lead by 7 points. The Blues trying to get one of them back. A right-footed drop punt from Curnow has the trick, but it's offline. Wide left. 6 points Adelaide's lead as we close in on three-quarter time. The Crows 12-3-75. Carlton 10-9-69. Crows by 6 points. ABC Sport, here's Ben Cameron.
Worrell on the kick in. Up towards the wing. Harry Mackay stands tallest. Brings in the mark forward of the logo for the Blues. Crows by 6 points. Sets it up in the Curnow direction. He was held out of it. Free kick. Free kick to Curnow. Hinge held him out. And he's got it directly in front, 30 out.
That's a soft free kick, Benny. There's not much in that at all. I think Charlie's just felt the contact, and then he saw Riley O'Brien coming through, and he just played for that free kick, really.
Charlie Curnow. They need their main man to stand up. He always does. 3 for Charlie. And the Blues move level again. 30 minutes into the third. 11-9-75 plays 12-3-75. Adam Ramanowskis here on Saturday Arvo Footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, and Harry, he's come into the game in the last 10 minutes. He really didn't touch the ball too much in that first 20 minutes of this third quarter. But there, another contested mark up on centre wing, and then gets the ball straight into a dangerous spot. Albeit Riley O'Brien took the intercept mark. You take your free kicks when you can inside forward 50, because sometimes they're few and far between for the big key forwards. Like, he's kicked 3 goals now, Charlie, but you wouldn't say he's had a good night.
And yet him and Harry have 5 between them.
Yeah.
5 of Carlton's 11. Scores level again. Fun, entertaining afternoon so far with 9 lead changes. Rankin hand passes to himself. First disposal out of the middle. Kicks inside 50. Fogarty hands to it. Couldn't trap it. Spills down Adelaide's way. Keys lost it in the tackle. Bounces out to Boyd. Kicks off half-back down the wing. Cripps untangles himself from Rankin. Free kick, a hold. It's going against Cripps.
Oh, look at those Carlton supporters over that City side of the ground. They're not happy.
Rankin caught in the tussle with Cripps, gets the free, goes short to Crouch. Bumper crowd in at Docklands again today, as it was last night for the Bombers and the Bulldogs. Short to Rochelle, kicks inside 50, tough half volley for Fogarty to try and trap. Pack forms around him, umpire circles and says we'll have a ball up.
They are right up the top of the third level here at the Docklands.
You could only buy a standing room ticket as a member of the general public. Scores level, 32 gone in the third.
Getting their heads on the roof in the back row. Extracting it, Newman. Handball out of defensive 50. Crows back on it. Dawson flicks it to O'Brien. Off to Smith. Kicks to full forward. And Blake Acres is there. Last line for the Blues. He marks and swings it out to the dockside wing. Mark taken by Owies. Scores level. Approaching three-quarter time.
Hand pass away to Williams. He's going to retreat. Goes back to Akers. Akers lifts a hand pass back to Williams. Reels it in. Hurried kick out on the full. He's lost his composure a bit, Williams. And in the end, I think as he tried to kick that, clashed to legs or bumped shins with Ned McHenry. It doesn't tickle, and Williams has come off worse for wear. McHenry goes short to Nankervis. Is there time for Adelaide to get a go-ahead score here? Scores level, 33 gone, third term, kicks inside 50. Brodie Kemp takes the intercept mark in the pack. Contested mark right half back for the Blue Baggers. Gee, it set up perfectly, headed into this final term. Kemp with the last kick of the quarter up to the wing. And that'll do us to three-quarter time. Scores level. 9 lead changes in the match. 5 of them came in that third quarter alone. The biggest margin either way was Adelaide by 11 points, and that was way back in the opening term. At three-quarter time, the scores are level, 75 points apiece. Carlton 11-9-75, Adelaide 12-3-75. The goal kickers, first of all, the home team. Charlie Curnow's got 3, 2 for Mackay. Singles for Orazio Fantasia, Corey Durden, Elijah Hollins, Matt Owies, Matt Cottrell and Mark Pitternet. Meanwhile, for Adelaide, we got 4 for Taylor Walker, 3 for Ben Keys, 2 for Isaac Rankin, and then singles for Rochelle, Dawson and Lockie Gallant. Whew, what an afternoon so far. Earlier today in the nation's capital, GWS by 1 point over St Kilda, 11-14-80 over the Saints, 12-7-79. And Tom Liberatore has been placed into the concussion protocols, despite the fact he's showing no symptoms, out of an abundance of caution. The statement reading from the Western Bulldogs after he collapsed on field momentarily last night. And some serious and some sad news coming through. Now, the Bondi attack earlier today, so the New South Wales Police have just spoken to the media about the knife attack which occurred at Westfield Bondi Junction in Sydney's east this afternoon. They have confirmed that 5 people were killed in the incident. An alleged offender has been shot dead by police. Police say they believe the offender acted alone and there is no continuing threat to the public. But a genuinely tragic day at Westfield Bondi Junction. 5 people have been killed and the alleged offender shot dead by police. To keep up to date with that, abc.net.au/news, or for more on ABC News 24. So a very sad story to bring you up to date with out of the Bondi attack earlier today. It's three-quarter time in the footy. Scores are level between Carlton and Adelaide. The thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas next Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
So, what makes us Australian?
Just be whoever you want to be.
And who's the obvious person to ask how that's transforming?
Welcome to Broken Hill, Miriam.
I'm on a quest to learn what it takes to change and adapt.
Occupation. I'm actually an escort.
An influencer.
Mm-hmm. Miriam Margolyes' Impossibly Australian. Tuesday nights on ABC TV or stream the full season now. Always free, always entertaining on ABC iView.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Here is Dawson. Fit disposal. It's a good one. A chip kick over the top and Walker marks 45 out directly in front. Walker into a little trot from the arc of 50. Walker goes whack. And the Crows draw level again. Fogarty's out the back. Getting back. McGovern gets a hand on it. On the line, Rankin. Hand to foot and a flush and he's kicked the goal.
Running back with it is always can't reel it in. He traps it eventually though. Gets rid of Jones. Hooks it on the right foot through for a goal. His back and forth shootout continues.
Spots up Walker. 55 out. Heads into the pocket in the direction of Dawson. The captain pulls in the mark. Right forward pocket for a captain's goal. Puts it through. Gives it off to Smith. Running long kick inside 50. Walker at the back reads it best. Spinning the footy in his hand. Socks up. Directly in front. He is a beautiful kick of the footy. Rose by 6 points. Sets it up in the Curnow direction. He was held out of it. Free kick. Free kick to Curnow. Hinge held him out. And he's got it directly in front, 30 out. They need their main man to stand up. He always does. 3 for Charlie.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Sounds here from an entertaining third term. 5 lead changes. Scores are level at three-quarter time between Carlton and Adelaide. 75 points apiece. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Lauren Borden on the boundary and Adam Ramanauskas. Off the SMS 0437 774 774. We've been chatting about unusual jumpers over the years. 27 years to the day since Carlton first wore their light blue jumper against the same opponents. Greg in Heidelberg shouted out the Hawks diamond jumper, which is a favourite of yours, Rama.
Yep.
That is one of the worst of all time. Pat in Harcourt says, I don't care which team, I just love jumpers with collars on them. I wasn't a big fan of jumpers.
No, I didn't like the collar.
And this one's a beauty from Pete in Ballarat. G'day all. Look, as a Hawthorn supporter who's been around the sun a few times, I've got to call out the crimes against footy jumpers that my club has had over the years. There was the Power Rangers horror, the Harlequin pattern, which we've just spoken about. The old school North Ballarat jumper was magnificent, black with a broad white V and shoulders, made blokes look massive. My new plugger was from Pete in Ballarat.
The Power Rangers jumper for Hawthorn wasn't much better than the Harlequins jumper.
I've got to be honest, it's hard to do a lot of things with brown.
Yeah, brown and gold, they don't have much to work with.
No, there's not a lot to work with. No. So I do, even their the club polos, like a brown polo. I don't know if you want to run around in a brown polo.
Well, the ones that scare me are the red ones that the Sydney and the Gold Coast wear. Not too flattering red when it comes to a club polo.
Betty Cameron's trying to pull it off today.
I'm not sure about the red. I'm usually more a black, white and grey operator. It's three-quarter time. Rama scores a level. What do you make of this game of footy?
Well, look, Carlton wasted opportunities in that quarter. 3 goals, 7. They kicked for that quarter, whereas Adelaide were 5 goals, 1. So really efficient when they went inside forward 50. I think this game, for both teams, it comes down to the Walker and Wiedering matchup in this last quarter. If Wiedering can hold Walker, Adelaide probably win the game. If Tex gets a hold of it, well, I think Adelaide win the game.
Fascinating final term in front of us. The undefeated Blues and the winless Crows. Is that going to change this afternoon? GWS awaiting Carlton, who won earlier today. Umpire Nathan Williamson with the crooked bounce, so he chucks it up the second time around. De Koning palms it down. Saligo fighting through the tackle, got a hand pass out, and Rankin's locked up. We'll have a ball up. I don't know if you've had a chance to have a look forward to round 6, Rammer, but there are some amazing games, close matchups, and Carlton and GWS, one of them. They could both be undefeated if the Blues can get out of this final turn. Walsh gets the clearance, kicks inside 50. Mackay trying to jam it on the boot after it hit the deck, tackled, lost it. Oh, Hinge gave it straight to Durden. Tumbles a kick to the top of the goal square. Crows get him back. Keane rushes it through. And it puts Carlton on top by that behind. 45 seconds into the last. Lauren Borden on the boundary.
Adelaide decided to make their sub at three-quarter time, so Sam Berry's come onto the field and it's Lockie Gallant that's come off, and he got a few pats on the back as he sat at the back of the bench.
Thanks, Loz. Long kick in, up towards the wing. Going up is Berry, the sub involved in the game. O'Brien following up. The big ruckman picks it up. Handball away to Berry. Handball off to Nankervis. Running around the back, Smith. Kicking to the wing. Looking for Walker. Past him and Wiedering. Out the back it goes. Getting there quickly. Mopping up Williams. Stopping, propping, kicking forward of the wing. And De Koning marks on his chest. He'll kick on his left to Boyd. Has some running room. Looks inside 50. Beautiful kick. And Curnow bursts onto it. It hung tantalisingly there for him. Like it was levitating in the air, and he just went there and plucked it, Curnow. 40 out on a 45-degree angle.
Certainly was a beautiful kick from Boyd. Just waited. You love those kicks where it forces the forward to get to the spot. Smart kick by Jordan Boyd.
Tight angle. And the finish match the build-up. The drop punt from Charlie's pretty good, but narrow.
So, Sam Berry's been subbed into the game. He needs to go to Sam Walsh in this last quarter.
Yep.
Walsh has had 27, more than any other player on the ground. He's the most dominant midfielder. See if they can shut him down in this quarter.
And the Crows get their first win of the year. It would be one to really lift their season. They've got to try and get out of defence here as Keane goes wide. Oh, Mark's not paid to Worrell. He's hustled out of it. Durden knocks it away. Oh, crouched like a wrestling manoeuvre. Just let Cottrell go over the top in a suplex. Ball comes out. Scooped up by Mackay. Hand pass away towards Durden. Blues back with it. Hand pass to Elijah Hollins. Kicks to the hot spot. There's brother Ollie. Free kick. It's going Adelaide's way. The goal for Cripps won't count. Cripps took the advantage, but it's a free coming back to Brodie Smith. Fullback for Adelaide. Carlton by 2 points. Start of the final turn. We've got a humdinger under the roof at Docklands. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanaskas, Lauren Borden. Saturday Arvo footy at Docklands. It is Carlton by 2 points.
It is hot in here at the moment. Smith's kick out towards Jones. Can't trap it on the bounce. Does well. Worries Akers out of it. Goes back and picks it up. Kick smothered. Out of play. Thrown between wing and half forward for the Blues.
Just clarifying too, we got a text message earlier about Carlton's yellow jumper they wore against Fremantle. It was a promotion for Lance Armstrong's charity Livestrong. So that's why they wore the yellow back then in 2009.
De Koning and O'Brien. Beautiful tap from De Koning. No Blue can get onto it. Coming through Smith for the Crows. Handball away to Fogarty. He's wrapped up. Tried to take them on. Ping holding the ball. Sam Walsh is getting busy.
She's getting loud in here.
Yeah. 28th disposal coming up for Sam Walsh in game 100. The Blues fans finding their voice. Attacking point of the square. Low ball towards full forward. Curnow launching. Crunches the pack. Ball pinballs around. Michaelani to control it. Handball to Butts. Crows in the back pocket. Back to Michaelani to Nankervis. He looks a little Nankervis. Gets a handball away though to the run of Saligo.
Short kick turns it over. Kennedy takes the intercept mark. High half forward for Carlton. Kicks it deep. Mackay hunting out after it. It lands on the chest of Cripps. Mackay ran under the footy. It was almost like a set play. Didn't put his hands up, and it straight on the monogram of Patrick Cripps' chest. And he's got it in a sweet position here. 45-degree angle. He'll kick from 25 out.
Yeah, and he's going to go the snap also here, Paddy Cripps.
It is standing room only under the lid at Docklands. Adelaide have hung around for the critical first goal of the last. It's a captain's goal. And they roar their approval at Docklands. Adelaide 12-3-75. Carlton move on to 12-11-83. Patrick Cripps, with his 100th goal in AFL footy, gives Carlton an 8-point break. Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
Well, it did. It fell into his hands, but it was a turnover from Saligo. He did all the hard work, Saligo. Then turned the ball over to Matty Kennedy. The ball was definitely for Harry Mackay. Harry just jumped under the ball, and then Paddy was just standing there, and the ball really just fell into his lap. But a critical turnover from Saligo gifted that goal to Carlton in the end.
Biggest lead of the match for the Blues. We did get out to 11, but that was the way of the Crows. So, well, Blues haven't led by as many as 8 like they do at the moment. O'Brien winning the tap cleanly. He'll get it back to in the middle of the ground. Kick smothered by DeConing. Back to O'Brien. Left foot, floating ball to half forward. Lots of hands on it. Boyd wrapped up quickly by Walker. Did he have prior opportunity? Yes. Free kick to Taylor Walker. Mark will be 48 out. Distance, not an issue.
No, not an issue. So just looking at this. Oh, he's stiff there, Jordan. Boy, I don't think there was much prior opportunity in that. This is Adelaide's first inside 50 of the quarter. Carlton have had 4 for 1 goal, 2. So first time Adelaide get the opportunity. Taylor Walker's having a set shot for goal.
Patrick Cripps, the current Blues captain, kicked a goal at the other end. This is Taylor Walker, the former skipper. And he's missing wide left. Out of bounds on the full. Still the Blues by 8 points, 7 minutes into the fourth. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Lockie Gallant subbed out. Zamberry into the game, the fresh legs. Adam Sant did his hamstring on the left side in the first half, so Jack Carroll's played almost a half of footy. Long kick. Goes up to the wing as Carlton work it out of defence. Fantasia hunts out after it, trying to burn off Crouch. He's pushed out of play with the Sharon, and we'll have a boundary throw in on the wing. Great to have you with us, Revy. You may be tuned in. Saturday twilight slot. Carlton by 8 points. Their biggest lead. 10 lead changes in total. And what's been a back and forth afternoon. Earlier today, GWS by a single point over St Kilda. And the boundary throw in. O'Brien wins it down. Walsh becomes the tackler, tries to lock up Jones. Ball comes out, says. Free kick. Player taken high and all of that, and it's going to come back. Oh, meanwhile, there's a player down out there on the outer side for the Blues.
That's Jack Carroll.
Get up. That's, young Carroll. Looks like he had a heavy landing. Looks a bit dazed.
He came in pretty hard there, Matt Crouch.
Get another look at this. He's picking himself back up. So Crouch came in trying to skid him to pick up the ball, and Carroll had his head over the footy. And they don't like that, the AFL. And Crouch won the ball but gave away the free kick, and Carlton move it down to half forward. We'll mark that one down in the book. Crows back the other way. Keane, hand pass away to Crouch, who's now copping the jeers. Kicks to Walker. Crows have been so good all day. Momentum against them early in the final term. Can they respond with a goal to shift it back the other way? Kick down to Keys. Marks high half forward. Pokes it into the pocket. That's a free kick.
Yeah.
Front on contact. Rochelli's getting it in the pocket.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt on that one.
He goes against Newman, who is back with the flight. Tried to spoil it away. Got the arms of Rochelli. The Adelaide forward will get it. Left forward pocket.
I just wonder how often defenders practice that. But we used to practice quite often in that situation. As soon as we got to the contest, you turn your body.
It's been so rare to get more than a goal up today as Rochelli bends one through to bring it back to a couple of points. The Crows hang about, and Josh Rochelli, with his second goal, brings Adelaide within 2 points. The Crows 13-3-81, trail Carlton 12-11-83, 9.5 gone, final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Adam Ramanauskas.
Well, it's Tex Walker involved. Wiedering was too far behind. Walker takes an easy mark, then over to Keys, and then the free kick to Rochelli, and they're hanging in there, the Crows. And inside 50s to start this quarter, 4-0. And now the Crows have got a couple of inside 50s and got their first goal for the quarter. It just feels like around the contest is where this game is going to be won at the moment. Who can gain that territory? Who can lock the ball into their forward line for the longest amount of time this quarter?
Carlton lead by a couple of points. Pitnet wins the tap. Immediately onto it quickly as Carroll gets it out towards Cripps. They're going backwards, Carlton. Kennedy, he'll kick from half back to half forward. Bouncing ball, Smith there for the Crows. Whistle on the play, free kick. Fantasia to get it. So Fantasia, the recipient. Ball doesn't come back on the full, nothing doing. And Fantasia will chip it laterally and forward. Running by McGovern. Thumping kick to the goal square. Crows need to kill it. Comes down in the goal square. And it's poked through, but for a minor score. Arriving there was Owie. He's got his boot on it. Now behind. Advantage out to 3 points. 11 minutes into this final term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Keane with the contest kick from the kick out and leaping over the back. Geordie Butts takes the mark for Adelaide. They keep it going forward. Hand pass to Smith. Kicks up into the front half. Walker and Wiedering. Wiedering knocks it away to the boundary line. A throw in, 70 out from the Adelaide goal. 3 points, Carlton's lead. 10 lead changes, 1 in this final term. A pair of games tonight. No late change in either of them. The Suns and the Hawks. Swallow to start as the sub for the Gold Coast and Henry Huswaite for Hawthorn. And a match between Port Adelaide and Fremantle, so in different directions tonight. Erasmus, the Dockers sub, and Mead to start as the sub for the Power.
O'Brien with fingertips on it. It spills out the back of the throw-in. Laird picks it up. Handball away to Cook to Dawson. Cripps has got him. Captain on captain. And Cripps wins the battle. Free kick to the Blues on the wing. He'll chip it short. Hewitt goes and claims it. Carlton by 3 points. 12 minutes into the fourth term. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Gordon Middlemash, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas, Lauren Borden.
Just what you need from the captain in the final term with the game on the line.
Yeah.
Kicks a goal, lays a big tackle, wins possession back. And now Carlton are going forward. Here's Kennedy against the boundary line city side. Kicks long down to half forward. Mackay wrestles free. Can't take the mark. Then crunches. Keane in possession of the footy. Ball comes out. Up says play on. Still lets them go. Laird lays a tackle on the bottom of all that. And Owies is locked up. We'll have a ball up.
And they're the moments in last quarters when the game is tight. You look for inspiration. And the captain provides it.
O'Brien winning the tap. Onto it, Cottrell. Blues at half forward. He gets rid of it. Hewitt's tackled by O'Brien. And the umpire will circle and come in and ball it up. Hot game of footy. Blues leading by 3 points. Up it goes. Pittonet slapping it down to Cottrell. Fights off a tackle. Gets rid of a handball. Going low. Free kick to Hewitt. Mark set. 48 out. 10 in from the boundary line at right half forward. Does he have the journey rammer?
No. Tired legs now. But he's confident.
So does he set it up? He'll go for the sticks. A little stutter on the approach. He'll set it up to the hot spot. In front, Curnow. Over the top of him it goes. Cook tackled as soon as he gets it. Akers slings him to ground. Ball up. 15 out from the attacking goal for the Blues. 3 points their advantage.
Big time spot this. Forward 50 stoppage, deep forward for Carlton. Pittonet wins it down, but the Crouch swings a hand pass out wide. Laird cleans it up, hand pass to Jones. Out of the defensive arc. Rochelle the target. Newman knocks it out of play. And a boundary throw-in, 70 out from the Carlton goal. 5 lead changes in the third quarter alone, 10 for the match. We've already had 1 in this final term with a goal either way. And it's Carlton by 3, 12-12 leading Adelaide. 13-3, 14 gone final term. The blood rule here as Mark Keane hits the bench. Into Loz in a moment for more on that. We'll go now. Lauren Borden's on the boundary. Loz.
Mark Keane has got a fair bit of blood coming out of his nose. It looks like it was a fair bit of blood, actually. They're just tilting back his head now, the physio, to try and get that cleaned up for the second half of the last quarter.
Thanks, Lauren, for the boundary throw-in. Jones, hand pass to Laird. Had the blinkers on. Cottrell came and got him. Holding the ball. Free kick for the Blues. Cottrell to get it. High half forward.
Cottrell looking inside a congested forward 50. Low ball into the pocket. Curnow in the pack. Punched away from him. Spills to Akers. Game 150. Important goal. Blues out by 9 points. And that's what Blake Akers does. Both ends of the ground. 13-12-90 Carlton. Adelaide 13-3-81. Quarter hour mark of the fourth. Can the Crows come again, Adam Ramanaskas?
Well, they're all going to Charlie Curnow here. Firstly, terrific tackle by Cottrell in that contest there. Big tackle on Matt Crouch. But it's then the contest from Curnow against three Crows players. And simply, Akers comes from his wing. His opponent just doesn't follow him, doesn't track him. And we've seen this a number of times with Blake Akers, where he just drifts inside forward 50. And critical goal, critical moment. It's now, yeah, you're right, Benny. Can the Crows find something to respond?
It's Carlton's biggest lead of the match, which gives you an idea on what sort of afternoon it's been. Carlton by 9. Pitternet down to Walsh, the weapon, as he kicks out wide to half forward. Looking for Fantasia. He wrestles free of Hinge. Fantasia jams it on the boot, kicks Carlton inside 50. Mackay arriving late. Mackay's got it. The juggled mark between two Crows. And Harry Mackay marks up left half forward for Carlton. He'll kick from inside the 50.
Well, good strong mark. But again, it's the work at the centre bounce of Sam Walsh. He's up to 4 possessions in this quarter. He's up to 31 or 30 for the game now.
Here's his new routine, so he can't play on. Composes himself, places the Sharon on the ground, picks it up, and he's ready to roll. In he comes, Harry Mackay, the left-footed drop punt is out to the right. It's pushed through for a rush behind. Carlton by 10, the biggest lead they've seen, 16 goal in final term. Lauren Borden on the boundary.
Well, Mitch McGovern's just gone down to the rooms for Carlton, so he's gone down maybe about a minute or so ago. We're waiting for him to emerge and find out as well what's actually wrong with him at the moment.
Only the second time today the lead's got to double figures. It's been virtually single figures all day. Long kick in from Hinge. Mackay has a lot of it, drops it at the last moment, regathers, gives it off to Akers. He'll kick the Blues back inside 50 to Koning in the air. Doesn't mark. Curnow, road snaps and goals. If Harry doesn't get you, Charlie will. His fourth. Carlton out by 16. And it'll be hard now for the Crows. 14-13-97. Plays 13-3-81.
Well, 10 inside 50s to 2 now in this quarter in Carlton's favour. 3 goals, 4. So Adelaide are really having trouble defending score in this quarter. So that's 7 scoring shots from the 10 entries for the Blues this quarter. But it's Harry again. Like, he's competing out here on a half-forward flank from the kick-out. Gets a little handball to Akers. Then TDK, Tom de Koning, a great contest. Harry and then Charlie at ground level. Just ball basically falls in his lap and left foot snap goal. Crows are going to start winning this ball in the middle. Clearance is 7-3 this quarter.
So 18 minutes into the fourth term, Carlton by 16 points.
3 of the 4 goals in the quarter have gone Carlton's way. After scores were level at three-quarter time, Carlton haven't lost a final term this season. While Adelaide, by the way, have been a pretty good final quarter team despite having not won a game. They've won 3 of their 4. They get a free kick in the middle here. Rankin and O'Brien wax between them. The kick from Rankin inside 50. Fogarty has been quiet today. Can't mark here. Falls through to Newman. Hand pass to Boyd of the Blues. Kicks out of the defensive 50. Hamill jumps up, can't trap it. His teammate Rankin does. Adelaide back in possession to Laird. Hand pass away to Hinge. He gives it to Hamill. Kicks inside 50. G. Newman drops a mark he'd ordinarily take. Cleans it up. Williams, hand pass away to Wiedering. Hurried kick down the wing for Carlton. And he finds Cottrell, who marks pressed up against the boundary city side. Carlton by a game high 16 points, 19 gone final term.
He wants to move it short. Akers able to claim the mark. Got some late closing pressure. Wants to celebrate game 150 with a win. Corbin mentioned earlier his 30th game with the Blues. 45 for Freo, 75 for St Kilda. He'll kick long off a step to a contest. O'Brien there for the Crows. Can they slingshot it off halfback?
Well, they're going to need to. 7.5 minutes remaining.
Gives it off towards Keane, who stabs it short. Now Berry. Socks up, running across halfback. Flower bag kick. Dropping at their butts. Allows in the Blues. He'll go back to clean up his own mess. Gives it to Nankervis. Crows in possession.
Hand pass to Dawson. Kicks down the wing and Walker marks. Now he's getting jeered, wasn't earlier. Hand pass out wide to Saligo, 70 metres out. Oh, has it bounced? Ollie Hollands comes to get him, fends him off. Still 70 out. Hand pass back to Walker, jams it on the boot, sprays the kick out wide, and in the end it bounces off a few bodies. It stays alive. Fogarty kicks to the top of the goal square. Cook marks.
Jeez.
Gee, that ball never went out. The ugly entry from Walker, and Fogarty, this straightens up beautifully, hits up Cook. And this will keep Adelaide in the game.
That's terrible by Carlton. There was 3 Carlton defenders there. Awful by Tex Walker. It's just a wobbler going inside forward 50. I think it was Brody Kemp. He should have marked it, but then at the bare minimum, get it out of bounds.
So Cook to keep a minute. Adelaide is still alive. Through it goes post high. And Carlton's lead cut to 10 as we tick into time on in the final term. Carlton 14-13-97, Adelaide 14-3-87. And the crowd posted, by the way, a bumper crowd at that. 50,000 here last night, 46,283 for Saturday footy in the twilight. The Blues by 10, Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
So it was Williams, Kemp, and there was one other Carlton play, but it just had to go out of bounds. And they're really smart. Dustin Fogarty has had a quiet night, but when you've had a quiet night, sometimes it's, I've got to get a goal. But he was composed enough to centre that ball up to Cook, who kicks the goal.
Still a pulse for the Crows. Bounce back in the middle. Perfect bounce to Koning and O'Brien. O'Brien laying it down for Rankin, who releases Saligo with a slick handball. Saligo kicks inside 50. Walker in good position. Wiedering a late hand. Brings it down to ground level. Led there for the Crows. Off to Berry. Might have had a moment. Wrapped up. Umpire says no prior. Let me ball it up. Carlton by 10 points. 21 minutes into this final term. Umpire puts it aloft. The Koning wins the tap easily. Following up, though, Walker. Over the top of it, Hewitt. His opposite number in lead goes in, and we'll get another ball up. Can the Crows find another goal?
Lauren Borden on the boundary, Loz.
So Mitch McGovern's come back up. It looks like he's not going to come back on for the rest of the game. No word yet from Carlton about his injury.
Thanks, Lauren. Carroll crunch with the footy. Comes out to Keys. Hand pass releases Berry. He snaps goalward. Free Adelaide player in the goal square. It's Rankin. How did he get all alone? Takes the mark. Rankin plays on, snaps, and it's a one-score game. Adelaide with 2 in a row, and they keep on kicking at Docklands. 23 gone final term. Rankin's got 3, and Carlton's lead, which was 116, is now only 4. The Blues 14-13-97, Adelaide 15-3-93. We got a good one. Under the roof at Docklands, 23 gone in the last. Before Adam Ramanauskas, Lauren Borden on the boundary.
So Mitch McGovern, it's a hamstring injury, has come from Carlton. So that's Adam Sard and Mitch McGovern in the same game with a hamstring injury, which is obviously concerning considering Carlton's got GWS next week as well as the last few minutes of this game too.
Oh, we're really smart there by Isaac Rankin. He just backed out of the contest where all the traffic was, and then really he took that mark uncontested. In the goal square, it was Brody Kemp and Fogarty there wrestling, but Rankin took the mark and goal.
The Crows are coming all of a sudden. Crouch fighting after it from the restart. Off to Saligo, taking high free kick. Blues wanted holding the ball. Instead, it'll go the Crows' way. Saligo in the middle. Long kick, shallow inside 50 entry. Off the hands of the pack, out the back to Williams for the Blues. He'll kick towards the dockside wing. Bouncing in front of Owies, right there with him, Hinge. Out of play, throwing to come. 4 points the Blues lead. Crows with the last 2 goals of the game.
In their last 9 games decided by 10 points or less, Carlton are 9-0.
Yeah.
They find a way to get it done. Can Adelaide still remember how to win? They're 0-4 to start the new season. They are right in this game away from home, pushing against the home crowd for the boundary throw-in. Cripps picks it up. O'Brien tackles him and a ball up on the wing. And we enter red time here with 5 minutes left on the game clock. The old Channel 10 days with the 5-minute warning flashing up on the screen. Carlton by 4 points. This is ABC Sport as Cripps is tackled by Crouch, and we'll do it all again for the 3rd time. A stoppage in the same area. 24 and a half minutes gone final term. Carlton by 4 points. Momentum with Adelaide.
The Koning, little backhand tap out in front of Cripps. Can't take possession of the footy. Shovels it out in the direction of Akers. His handball pinched by Jones for the Crows. Handball out of bounds. Throw-in to come. 4 points, Carlton's lead. 25 minutes into the fourth. It's become par for the course for the Blues, hasn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to do it too often, though.
There is a theory that eventually it's just reversion to the mean.
Yeah.
You get involved in enough close games, you'll lose some and you'll win others. Tap one by O'Brien. Few fend-offs from Berry. Gives it off to Jones. Crows it half forward. Crouch into the pocket. Looking for a leading target. Rankin has a lot of it. Doesn't mark. Goes again at ground level. Handball to Crouch. He's hit strongly by Akers. Walsh is there to grab it. Blues away down the wing.
Walsh on his return, who's been excellent. Hand pass away to Akers. Runs up to halfway. Kicks to half forward. Curnow the target. It's out the back. Durden traps it. Gives it back to Charlie. 60 metres out. Great vision. Looks corridor. It's Cottrell again. Got hands to it. No mark. Follows up. Cottrell kicks to the goal square. Bouncing footy on the behind line, and it's through for a minor score. Carlton by 5 points. 26 minutes gone in the final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Pick up the middle from Hinge. Finds Smith. Releases Hamill. Breaks the arc of 50. Good kick up to the wing. Crouch can mark and go. Wheels onto his left. Kicks inside 50. Rankin's got space. Rankin marks. Isaac Rankin. 40 out. 30-degree angle. Right half forward. The game potentially on his boot.
But this has been happening all night against Carlton. Another kick out where Adelaide take the ball inside their forward 50 untouched. Poor defending by Carlton. Great ball movement by Adelaide.
He's a man built for these kinds of moments. They kicked the last goal of the game. He's got 3 on the afternoon. Isaac Rankin, 45 out. He flares it out to the right and can't bring it back. If you were looking for the ideal moment, that might have been it, Crows fans.
While all that happened, Josh Worrell came limping off. He's got severe cramp. He's hit the bench, so there's a few sore bodies. It's been a hot game of footy. Close, seesawing affair throughout. Newman drives it up to the wing. DeConing competes, spills down to Owies. Kicks to centre half forward. Hand on it from Hamill. Spills to Smith of the Crows. Hand pass. Follows it up himself. Smith gives it away to Hinge. Still on the back flank. Takes on the tackler. Runs the gauntlet. Hand pass on the wing to Berry. Pushes aside the tackle. Handball to Butts. Locked up. Carlton fans screaming for holding the ball. The ump says, I'll have it. And a ball up on the wing. It's Carlton by 4 points. They're in another close one. 28 minutes travelled in the final term.
It is loud under the roof. O'Brien down to Crouch. Can only squeeze a kick forward. Lots of Blues around the footy. They become the masters of tying up a game late. Another ball up here. Carlton lead by 4 points. 28 minutes into the fourth. Inside the centre square. Umpire puts it aloft. Both O'Brien and DeConing touch it. Akers goes and wins it. High ball into the middle of the ground. No mark taken. Walsh roves the pack. He'll kick inside 50. Mackay's there. Owies 2. Mackay drops the mark. Owies swoops on it. Slips over. Runs around his man. Dribbles his shot. It won't get there. Jones is on the last line. Mops up for the Crows. Kicks beyond defensive 50.
How did they not score? Smith clever. Pumps it to Berry on the wing. Now Adelaide a chance to hit the scoreboard. Walker the target. Spills down to Fogarty. Hand pass back to Walker. Tex kicks to the top of the goal square. Jones is down there along with Keane. It's punched out of bounds. The ump says spin it in. Boundary throw in forward pocket for Adelaide.
Matt Owies. What was he doing down there?
He decided to go on the outside of the right boot. It didn't score. He could have given a hand pass to Mackay or snapped it himself, and in the end, as Dennis Cometti would say, chose the third of 2 options.
Forward 50 stoppage for the Crows. O'Brien taking it out of the ruck. Somehow spills to Rankin. Crouch coming through. Handball to Keys. To Berry. Snap from 40. It's very good from Berry. Crows in front. They snatch back the lead. And Carlton might have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Crows by 2 points. 16-4-100. plays 14-14-98. 29 gone in the fourth.
Well, he's been terrific this quarter. Sam Berry's had the 9 possessions, a tackle, and now a goal. He's been everywhere, but it's just they kept that ball alive. Adelaide in that contest, they didn't concede to the tackle. First it was Matt Crouch, then it was Ben Keys, who finally just got this nice little handball to Berry for a goal. Now, this is what you train for. There's a minute 19 remaining on the clock, so both teams go in. Adelaide go defensive, Carlton go attacking, but so much of your time over summer is spent in these situations.
The undefeated Blues, the winless Crows. It's the winless Crows by 2 points with a hot minute left. Carlton out of the middle. Kick goes wide. Found the boot of Hewitt. Got it to Akers. Marks on the wing. Kicks to the hot spot. Curnow hands on it. No mark. Deep forward for Carlton. Cottrell picks it up. He's tackled. Ball comes out. Berry threw his head back. Says I'll have it. And the ball up. 35 out from the Carlton goal. It is Adelaide by 2 points. Berry's goal, the 11th lead change in the match. Adelaide by 2. Cripps rucking, palms it down inside 50 to Akers, trying to get it out to Jones, though, with the Crows. Ump lets them roll, throw a blanket over 15 players, and the ump says, I'll have it. Clock stops again. We're in the final minute. It's Adelaide by 2 points. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
So 11 lead changes. The question is that the last? Cripps trying to bend over and pick it up. Gives it to Akers. Hooking it from 50. Into the pocket it goes. No one can mark. Spills down. Curnow runs into a tackle. Handball away. Deep inside 50. Crouch is there. Gives it to Dawson. And the Crows can clear. Kicks up the Keys.
Outstanding.
And he marks.
Outstanding by Ben Keys. 50-metre sprint to give Jordan Dawson the option there. Had no option ahead.
So Ben Keys at halfback. He'll take the territory for the Crows. They lead by a couple of points. Walsh ropes the pack. Wins it back for the Blues. Knows he's got to go. He'll kick inside 50. Strong mark. Keen marks. Finally something to crow about. Cardiac Carlton can't do it this time. The Crows win by 2 points. The first time in 2024 they'll sing the song.
Australia, and we're known as the Adelaide Crows. We're courageous, stronger, faster, and respected by our foes. Admiration of the nation, our determination shows. We're the pride of South Australia, we're the mighty Adelaide Crows.
So the Crows come from 16 points down. They kicked 3 goals in time on in the fourth to win by 2 points. It never got wide throughout the afternoon. 16 points was as big as it got. 11 lead changes. They win by 2.
As we fight the rugged battles, the flag will be our goal. Our skill and nerve will see us through. Our commitment never grows. We're the pride of South Australia. We're the mighty Adelaide Crows. Yes, the pride of South Australia. We're the mighty Adelaide Crows.
So in the end, 4 goals to Taylor Walker, 3 to Ben Keys, 3 to Isaac Rankin, 2 to Josh Rochelle, 1 to Braden Cook, 1 to Jordan Dawson, 1 to Gallant, and the most important, the super sub, Sam Berry, who kicked the winning goal late in the fourth term for the Blues. Curnow with 4, a couple to Harry Mackay, and then singles to Cripps, Fantasia, Durden, Elijah Hollins, Pitnet, Owies and Cottrell. If Owies had 2, the Blues are probably still undefeated. Not to be. Adelaide win a thriller. What a fun afternoon at the footy.
Oh, how good was that? Just as a last quarter of football, up and down. Carlton will be kicking themselves. Literally, 3 goals, 5 in that last quarter. So they had the opportunities. Owies had the game on his boot right there in those final moments. But Adelaide take the ball to the other end of the ground and off they go. Just that work in that last contest. To not just concede tackle. Matt Crouch, then Ben Keys, who gets it to Sam Berry, who kicks the goal. Just terrific play. But when you haven't won a game for the season and then you get to 16 points down, you can go into your shell very quickly and say, this is all too hard now. Let's just, blow the siren, pack up. But to the Crows' credit, they kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It's terrific for them. You look at them on the ground celebrating, you look at the coaches and the staff, what it means to them. But we all thought that the Crows would be a good team this year. They haven't started the season as they would have wanted. But tonight, I thought was a real showing of who Adelaide are as a football team. Like their ball movement, I thought was terrific. They tried something different. Rankin was up in the centre square. Dawson was up in the centre square. They had different players. They gave different looks. Thought Sam Berry was amazing in that last quarter as a sub, 9 possessions. He comes on and kicks just an absolute critical goal. He's involved in 4 scoring chains in that last quarter. So that's the tactical sub. It's a costly night for Carlton. Adam Sard hamstring, Mitch McGovern hamstring. So it's a costly night for Carlton, who really in those last moments should have won the game of football.
How good's footy? Underdog Thursday night, underdog Friday night, Saturday afternoon decided by 1 point, Saturday twilight decided by 2 points.
Fantastic. And that's why the fans keep coming back.
Yeah. I think there was 12 lead changes in last year's grand final. We had 11 today, and the match swung on the 11th as Berry put Adelaide in front in the 32nd minute. Gee, that was a fun afternoon. 46,283. The votes from Adam Ramanauskas in just a moment. Hopefully we'll be able to sneak the song in. We've got to go to the late games, and there are a pair of good ones as well. So Gold Coast up against Hawthorn. Can the Suns bounce back after some mixed results on the road? They're back at home. They play the Hawks, who are very much in development mode, but they ran Collingwood close last week. And they're the only team, by the way, that the Premiers didn't beat in their premiership season last year. And for SA and WA, you're off to Adelaide Oval for the red-hot Power up against the Fremantle Dockers, who were on the wrong side of it last week against the Blues. And for Carlton here, well, it took every intervention last week for them to get home. They were 9 down. They ended up winning by 10 in the last 3 minutes. Today, they're on the other side of it. They led by 16, and they conceded the last 3 goals of the match. So they're now 9-1 in their last 10 games decided by 10 points or less.
Yeah, well, it has to end, that run.
Reversion to the mean.
Yeah, that's right. So it has to end, unfortunately, and today was the day that it ends for Carlton. Now, they'll sit there and go, well, we had the opportunities to win this game, no doubt, but I didn't think it was one of Carlton's best. Like it says, Charlie Curnow's kicked 4 goals, 3, but I didn't really think he had a big influence on the game at all. Mackay's kicked 2 goals, 1. They were all in the first quarter.
Have you got the votes?
Yep. I gave 1 to Isaac Rankin.
Yep.
23 possessions, 3 goals, 1, a couple of clearances. I gave 2 to Taylor Walker. 14 possessions, 4 goals, but he would have taken 7 or 8 marks inside forward 50, and 3 to Sam Walsh.
Back in town, Sam Walsh, even in a losing cause, had 34 for the Blues. Adelaide win it by a couple of points. We want to be here for this. Low important in the winners' rooms. Loz.
It's a great rooms to be in. Joshua Shelley was just saluting the air and just waving at all the fans in here as he came in. He was probably the happiest of the bunch, but they've all got huge smiles on their faces, batting each other on the bats. Matt Crouch is one with one of the biggest smiles as well, so you can just imagine how they're going to sing this in their first win of the season, coming across the Docklands and getting the win here away and getting one against the undefeated Carlton as well. It must feel pretty good. Tex Walker just pulling in the circle tight now.
Right on South Australia, we're the mighty Adelaide Crows. We're greater, stronger, faster, and respected by our foes. Adoration of the nation, our determination. We're the pride of South Australia, we're the mighty Adelaide Crows.
So not a huge crowd of Adelaide supporters in here, but they're all absolutely wrapped. To the ones who maybe came across or from Melbourne as well, coming into these rooms here, absolutely wrapped to watch the win and watch the song.
Thanks, Loz. I'm not sure if we'll get a very quick reaction if you can. We've still got another 4 minutes or so if they give us someone straight out of the song. A 2-point victory for Adelaide. Fell 16 behind as we hit time on in the last quarter, and they kicked 3 red time goals, the Crows, to book their first victory of the young season. So winless no more. Carlton undefeated no more. The Blues to 4-1. Adelaide to 1-4. So we have 2 undefeated teams in the Cats and the Giants. GWS beating St Kilda earlier today by 1. And we have 3 winless teams. North Melbourne, who play Geelong tomorrow. Hawthorn, who are in action tonight, up against the Suns. And the West Coast Eagles, who play Richmond tomorrow.
The Eagles are a chance tomorrow.
You like them?
Yeah. No, Taranto and Ross. So I think that if the Eagles play anywhere close to how they played against Sydney when we were at Mount Barker last week, Corbs, they should win that game.
Feels like yesterday, doesn't it, Gather Round? I saw the Fox Footy promo, Matt Nable, who voices it, described it as the round after the one before, and I thought that's probably a good way to put it. I think we might be able to sneak in a quick word here. So we are off in different directions, either Port Adelaide versus Fremantle next in SA and WA, or for everyone else, Gold Coast and Hawthorn. But back to the winners' rooms, Adelaide by 2 points, Lauren Borden.
I'm lucky enough to have Sam Berry standing next to me. You're the super sub tonight. Can you take me through that last quarter? And, of course, the go-ahead goal at the end.
Yeah, obviously a bit going through the head. Sitting there until, obviously, three-quarter time I come on. And, yeah, I was pretty nervous, but just wanted to give as much as I could and have as much as an impact with the fresh legs. So, yeah, and obviously it was really nice to get on the end of one late there.
And how do you take on that role as a sub? You've done it before. What's your mindset when you go into it so you can perform like that?
Yeah, I'm still pretty new to it. It's a bit of a challenge, but I think it's just finding what works for you and just trying to stay fresh. And it can be draining sitting there. Yeah, you can almost feel like a supporter at times, and all the calls, you kind of ride the wave a bit. So it's just about kind of staying calm, I think, is the best for me.
And for the team, first win of the season, it must feel fantastic. What was the main goal as you came into this game? Maybe a disappointing performance last week from your side, but to come here, so satisfying to defeat, an undefeated team in the comp.
Yeah, I think it's just been small steps the last couple of weeks, which we've been trying to chip away at. And tonight was a lot more like us, just a bit more speed on the ball. And I thought our work around the contest was really good for 4 quarters. They obviously got ahead of us there, but I think one trait that we've had is we've never given up, and we showed that again tonight.
And was it a quarter-by-quarter approach that your coach was talking about during the week? Is that something that you took in today again, just to, no matter how close the game got, that you still thought you could get ahead at the very final siren?
Yeah, I think we're really focused on looking at system, not so much outcome, and just trying to stick at that. So obviously quarter by quarter, but I think if you stick at that, then you're less likely to have those long lapses, which we have had in the past. So I think, yeah, it was obviously still really trying to work on it, but yeah, getting there.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for your time. Well done, and enjoy the first win of the season.
Thank you very much.
Great work, Sam Berry and Lauren Borden. Thanks for your work down in the room. Sam Berry kicking the winning goal in the 30th minute, Adelaide by 2 points in a come-from-behind victory over Carlton to get on the board for the first time in 2024. 3 things out of it. Matthew Nix's road record improves to 10-31 in charge of the Crows, so a rare road victory. They are now 6 wins and 14 losses in games decided by under a goal under Matthew Nix, and the Crows looking to become just the second team since 1975 in almost 50 years to overturn an 0-4 start to make it to the finals. Sydney in 2017, the only side to have done that. They actually won a final before losing on semi-final night. That's one way to do it, is to get on the board first. You can only win your next one. They're 1-4, the Crows. Carlton fall to 4-1. Thank you, Adam Ramanauskas. One out in the cage.
Great night at the football.
It was awesome. Thank you to Ben Cameron. Thanks to Lauren Borden, to Stu Baker, to Akash Fodder back in the studio. I'm Corbin Middlemass signing off. We're in different directions. It's been a hell of a Saturday slate so far. Giants by 1 point over St Kilda. Adelaide by 2 points over Carlton. Let's see what we get next. It's either the Gold Coast and Hawthorn for some, for everybody else, Port Adelaide and Freo. The footy rolls on.